Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Free Bridge Podcast. This is your host, Brian, and today I have the Felicos here. Ta!
My man, Cousin Dave.
What's up?
So, we're doing things a little different now. Now we have video, or I'm going to try to have video on most of the podcast from this point on. And so you can find us on YouTube, you can find us on SoundCloud, you can find us on Buzzsprout and iTunes. And once again, I got to give shout outs. Twitter and Instagram if you guys want to follow us. Got to follow us. There'll be links below the video for you guys to
subscribe, like.
Yeah, you can, and there's links down there below, so that way you guys can go check out our website. And I'm putting our content out there for everybody on all different platforms, whatever's easier for you to listen to us.
The sponsors as well.
And now I was going to go with the sponsors. So we got the Real Green Touring by Justine Cruz and Mikkel Rose. There'll be a link in the description below. For if you want to go on a nice little excursion, make sure to use their service because they're down in Jamaica. And if you guys want to check out Jamaica, it's beautiful down there. They can show you around. And then I got Isabella Seda. She'll have a link in the description below. She's a photographer. She does great work. There'll be a link to her website. That way you guys can check out some of her content, some of the nice pieces that she has on her website as well.
It's absolutely tremendous pictures.
Tremendous. Some of the best pictures I've ever seen in all my life.
Look at this, Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah.
The free bridge runs on Dunkin'.
Yeah.
D&D, I love D&D.
All right. So today, this episode, we're actually we're going to talk sports for a little while. So this is talking sports with the Felicos. And
Never done that before.
Yeah. On previous podcasts, we did mention that we are huge Giants fans.
Yeah, a little bit.
So if you're a Giants fan, this is the podcast for you. If you're an NFL football fan, I'm sure you'll still have fun because we're going to talk about the power rankings and everything. I mean, I got my notes, and we're going to start with the power rankings. So let's just dive right into this. All right. And before I go into the power rankings, let's talk about what your feelings are this year and who you guys think obviously should be in the power rankings.
It's going to be the Eagles, obviously, they're number one.
Yeah, they won the Super
Bowl champions, best
With a
roster in the NFL.
Yeah.
They won without the MVP in the NFL.
Yeah.
Yeah. And man, I did not expect that to happen at all. That was like the worst case scenario for me.
Cry.
Me too. I'm still crying. And I'm living in Easton, Pennsylvania.
Oh God!
So in Allentown,
that's right. I forgot about
oh my God! Every single Eagle fan came out of the woodwork going, "Yeah, we hate you."
South Jersey and Pennsylvania. Obviously.
Oh God, yeah, man.
Yeah, but he's kind of. If he was a little bit further west, it'd be Steeler Nation.
Yeah.
Out there.
There was a couple of Steeler fans, but mostly Eagle fans, and they're really loud, as you already know. Eagle fans are extremely loud.
Classy organization all around.
Oh my God,
especially the fans.
Hate it. All right, so obviously number one, because the record was 13-3.
Yeah, Eagles die next.
Yeah. Post free agent ranking.
It's got to be the Patriots number two.
Number two is the Patriots.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
DB 12.
And says it's no surprise that the Patriots used their first pick on the offensive tackle after losing Nate Solder.
Who went to the Giants?
Yeah.
He'll get hurt and suck for us.
The selection of Sony Mitchell.
I think it's Sony Michael.
Sony Mitchell at 31st overall.
Mitchell Michael.
With an abundance of running backs already in New England. All right, so Bill Belichick.
Deion Lewis is gone.
Yeah.
Sony Mitchell, running back out of University of Georgia with Nick Chubb.
Yeah.
Is
Tom Brady still there?
The Browns.
Yeah, they'll be fine.
They'll be fine. And Bill Belichick.
Doesn't matter. All the rest of the players, it doesn't matter.
Julian Edelman's after 4 games.
Hernandez, everyone.
Yeah.
Julian Edelman. Who else? Who else have they had?
Wes Welker.
Gone through. Who's the other one?
Randy Moss came out of retirement to play with
Danny
the
Woodhead.
Patriots again.
Deion Branch.
Randy Moss. Doesn't matter. It's all
Corey Dillon. Remember that?
Yeah, I remember Corey Dillon.
Yeah. And Kevin Falk was a beast. I loved him. So then number three is it's the Pittsburgh Steelers. Mm-hmm. They're number 3. Ben Roethlisberger plans to play for another 3 to 5 years, but the Steelers address the future with the 3rd round selection of Mason Rudolph. It's the earliest the Steelers have drafted a quarterback since they took Roethlisberger in the 1st round of the 2004 NFL draft.
Well, the draft before last, they took Joshua Dobbs out of Tennessee. It was a quarterback, too.
Complete waste of pick.
Yeah, but this is the earliest. This is the earliest they've ever chosen.
He went in the 4th round, so Mason Rudolph went in the 3rd round. Obviously, they still have the 3 Bs, Ben Roethlisberger, Antonio Brown and Le'Veon Bell.
Yep.
Le'Veon Bell is still looking for a long-term contract, so we'll see if he holds out. I hope so.
Yeah.
Because I hate the Steelers.
You hate the Steelers? I like
Oh,
the
my
Steelers.
God, I can't
feel like
stand
they have a very close relationship with the
I
Giants.
can't stand Ben.
Well, they do because they're related to the Giants.
Yeah.
Their family is related.
Yeah, and they
have a close relationship with the Giants.
Well, no, literally.
No, yeah,
Romera's-
I know. But also with Ben Roethlisberger and Eli Manning being linked in the same draft as well.
Yeah.
So number 4 in the power rankings, the New Orleans Saints.
Yeah, that one I don't get.
Wow, they were 11-5 last year.
Yeah, I get it because they had the offensive rookie of the year,
Well,
Alvin Kamara, and they had the defensive rookie of the year,
Mhm.
Marshawn Lattimore.
Well, it says right here, the Saints had the second most snaps from rookies in 2017 and produced one of the best classes ever with Alvin Kamara,
Yep.
Ryan Ramczyk,
Yeah, he's a tackle.
Marshawn Lattimore,
Yep,
and Marcus Williams. It'll be tough for this year's class to replicate that success, but any contribution will benefit. So,
Well, also Michael Thomas, the wide receiver.
Yeah.
He wasn't a rookie last year, but he looks like he's really good. That's the reason why they traded Brandon Cooks to the Patriots, who's now on the Rams.
dude,
But
honestly,
they have a really good squad.
Drew Brees, I can't believe
Well,
how.
it's funny, though, because your knee-jerk reaction is to go, the Saints, the Vikings should be higher.
Yeah.
But the truth
I
is,
agree.
the Saints should have beaten the Vikings. They were that lucky touchdown
Yep.
away from beating them.
It was a lucky touchdown, but I think the Vikings overall have a better roster.
That guy should have.
In my
Well,
opinion, they do.
it's because they're defense.
If that guy made the tackle, though,
Oh,
he's
yeah.
right. He's right. We would be talking.
And
No, I know.
Yeah.
It should have been the Saints.
It really also.
I mean, honestly, anything would have been a better performance than what the Vikings did.
Well, it could have changed the NFC Championship, and the reason being is because that was the Vikings' biggest win in how long?
Yeah.
Forever to finally go to the NFC Championship, and then they
Get stopped out like they usually do in the NFC.
they laid an egg
That's what the.
versus the Eagles, which really
And the
pisses
Vikings are
me off.
notorious for choking. They always choke.
NFC opponents, too.
Yeah. All right. So obviously number 5 is the Minnesota Vikings. After doling out $84 million guaranteed for Kirk Cousins in free agency, the Vikings opted to continue building up a defense that allowed the fewest points last season in the early rounds of the draft. Cornerback Mike Hughes, number 30, and defensive end Jalen Holmes. He's 102 overall. So they just stacked up their defense even more.
Yeah, well, the thing is with the Vikings, that's interesting. Obviously, everyone would say it's an upgrade at quarterback from Case Keenum to Kirk Cousins, but paying them that much money, they have a lot of contracts coming up on the defensive side. So really, their window is now.
Yeah.
Maybe they have a 1 to 2 year window, so maybe it works out if
Well, the thing is, you know what? It's an upgrade on paper,
on paper, yeah.
but with the way that Case Keenum played last year, like he had an all-world year for him. Is it really that much of an upgrade from the season he had last year to Kirk Cousins? That's the real key for what you're paying.
So yeah, but the thing is, Case Keenum only has 1 year that he produced.
No, I know that. I'm
Kirk
saying
Cousins
taking that 1 year versus any of the good years from Kirk Cousins, you could match them up and they're pretty close.
Kirk Cousins has less to work with in Washington. I mean, Jordan Reed is very talented, but he's never.
Yeah, but I don't rarely ever think of the Vikings having anything.
Well, Stephon
prolific
Diggs.
done.
Stephon Diggs is really good. Adam Thielen.
But they don't have that weapon that you go, oh, like they don't have a Le'Veon Bell, they don't have an Odell Beckham Jr., they don't have
Well, who do the Redskins have?
someone better than the Vikings.
No, Stephon Diggs is better receiver than any of the receivers on the Redskins.
I know, I feel like he might be better than all of them, but I feel like that the Redskins have better guys, like as far as they have more guys that are right under him than the Vikings. Like the Vikings do have Stephon Diggs, but then outside of them,
Adam
it's a
Thielen is better.
It's a huge drop off though from the Redskins across the board.
I don't
Really,
think so.
from tight end to wide receiver and running back.
I think the Vikings are way more talented.
I don't know. I don't feel that way.
Well, okay, so who's on the Redskins? You're saying that they're more talented. Name a person on the Redskins that's more talented. I mean, Jordan Reed, but he's only available 3 games out of the year, so that doesn't matter.
He does get hurt.
And then Pierre Garçon, he's not even there anymore, but
They have
I don't
more-
think he was that talented.
Yeah, but they have more household names. They're running. I don't know. I like their running backs.
Well, no, I don't like their running backs at all. Now I do because Darius Geis they got.
That's what I'm saying.
The guy
Even
else
going
is-
into this season.
But we were talking about the past. with
Well, no,
Kirk
but I was
Cousins.
talking about the past with Kirk Cousins versus Case Keenum that 1 year. If you took the 1 year of
Mhm.
Case Keenum versus any of the years with Kirk Cousins, that it wasn't as much of a drop off as people are making it. Like they are acting like they got a huge upgrade, but Case Keenum had the season of a lifetime for Case Keenum. Is the upgrade of a good year with
Yeah, no, I get
Kirk
what you're
Cousins
saying.
that much better than what Case Keenum produced last year?
I have
That's what I'm
not,
saying.
I have a list
For
right
what
here.
they paid.
Yeah, no, I
for
get
what
what
they
you're saying.
paid.
For the Redskins, I got a list right here. They got Jordan Reed.
Jordan Reed's the best player on the team. as
Ryan-
far as
Ryan
offense.
Kerrigan.
Yeah, he plays defense. We're
That's
talking about
defense,
offense.
yeah.
Ryan Kerrigan.
DM.
Let's see. Trent Williams.
Trent Williams, yeah, he's a good tackle.
Yeah. Jonathan Allen.
Jonathan Allen's on defense.
Josh
out of
Norman.
Alabama.
Josh Norman.
Overrated.
Josh
Uh,
Norman, yeah, he's overrated.
Jamison Crowder.
He's not. He's all right, slot guy.
Terrell Pryor.
Pro Bowler. Pro Bowler.
Robert Kelly. That's the top 10 right now, it says.
Yeah, so
Most
Robert
improved,
Kelly
yeah.
was the back out of Ole Miss, but they got Darius Geis, which is LSU, which some people thought that he was a better running back than Saquon Barkley,
Mhm.
but he had some troubles off the field. So we'll see how it turns out for them.
Yeah. Now, I forgot to mention that this power rankings that we're reading off right now is actually from ESPN.com. So this is ESPN's power rankings, okay? Now, to continue on, we just said the Minnesota
So
Vikings are
number
ranked number 5. And number 6, we got Los Angeles Rams. So weird to say Los Angeles Rams. The Rams didn't make a pick until the 3rd round,
But there's
but they still walked away with 11 selections and a clear strategy. After bolstering the secondary with trades, they used 7 of their picks on offensive and defensive linemen. They hadn't selected 7 linemen in a single draft since 1970, or the 1970s. So,
I
There
mean,
you
it's
go.
fitting that they moved to LA. They have so many stars on that team now.
yeah.
Obviously, they paid Todd Gurley, one of the best running backs in the league. You have Jared Goff. The first season, his rookie season, he looked terrible.
Mhm.
But with Sean McVay last year, their
He looked
offensive
adequate.
guru, he looked good. He looked adequate enough. Woodworth, as far as the offensive tackle is concerned, but you look at that defense, oh my God. So they got Marcus Peters, great Pro Bowler corner
You want me to name
from the
off?
Kansas City Chiefs.
I got the top 10 players right
You
now.
got Ndamukong Suh.
Sue.
Aaron Donald, who they still
Aaron
haven't
Donald,
paid, and
yeah.
they need to pay him because he may hold out, which maybe help the Giants out. They got Aqib Talib.
Oh, God, I love that guy's name.
They have
Aaron Donald.
Well, I already
Yeah, we
said
said
Aaron,
Aaron
Donald.
Donald.
Aaron Donald. They
You
got
say
Brandon.
Todd Gurley?
He just got
Todd Gurley.
just got
Brandon,
paid,
They
right?
got Brandon Cooks too. who got paid.
Tremaine Johnson.
Tremaine Johnson. Yep. corner.
Alec
He's
Old-
really good.
Alec Ogletree.
No,
He's
Al
on there.
Golden's on the
Oh,
Giants.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, that's
he's
right.
been traded to the Giants.
And
He'll suck too for us.
Andrew Whitworth.
Andrew Whitworth, the offensive tackle.
Did you say Robert Quinn?
No, so
I
defensive
think you
end,
did. I think you did say Robert Quinn.
maybe, but he's a defensive end and a North
Sammy
Carolina.
Watkins.
Sammy Watt. No, he's gone. He's on the
He
Chiefs
is?
now. Yeah, he's
Oh,
on the
wow.
Chiefs now.
I forgot he was on there
So
last year.
that's why they got Brandon Cooks.
John
Yeah.
Hecker is their punter, and they're saying that he might be the best punter in the entire league.
Yeah, he's got
So,
help. Got a cannon.
Sammy
Sean
Watkins.
Mandetta.
Did you say Sammy Watkins?
Well,
No, he's
gone
not
now.
on there.
gone, that's right.
So he's on the Kansas City
now.
Chiefs now. That's why they paid Brandon Cooks.
You know what's
Yeah.
funny? That's who they remind me of. They're like the NFC version of the Chiefs with Alex Smith. That's who they remind me of.
Yeah.
They have that quarterback who's like kind of good enough to get you there, but I feel like is never going to get you over the hump. But they're so talented at all the other positions.
Yeah.
Don't they kind of like remind you of that?
It's a little
Or even
bit.
like the 49ers. They're like the 49ers, but the offensive version of the 49ers a couple of years ago with their defense.
The only difference would be Alex Smith was already tenured at that point. I mean, you're talking
Yeah.
about Jared Goff's second season, maybe a third season. He makes a leap. And he's a little bit more of a playmaker as far as big playability.
Yeah, but I'll tell you, Alex Smith, if you remember back
Alex
then,
Smith's got wheels.
He's got wheels.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a strong arm, but he always could extend the play, and he could turn a 20-yard pass into a bomb because he'll move. And like, how many times do you used to have long touchdowns to what's the tight end's name who used to be on there?
Travis Kelce?
No, Vernon Davis.
Oh, yeah, Vernon Davis. Oh, you're talking about the 49ers. Yeah.
because he would scramble around, he would break loose.
Yeah,
out
he's
of
got
that.
good legs. He's
Yeah.
accurate with the ball. He makes good decisions. He doesn't turn over the ball more. But now he's on the Redskins, which kind of scares me a little bit. That may be an upgrade from
Yeah,
Cousins.
I agree. We're not good against quarterbacks like that.
So, okay, Los Angeles Rams. What's the next team?
So the next team is actually the number 6. No, that was number 6. So number 7 is the Jacksonville Jaguars at number 7.
So Jacksonville Jaguars have a stacked defense.
It says the Jaguars used 2 of their first 3 selections on defenders because finishing second in points allowed last season clearly wasn't good enough. A scary unit that featured 6 Pro Bowlers gets potentially scarier with the additions of defensive tackle Taven Bryan, which was the 29th pick, and safety Ronnie Harrison, which was the number 93rd pick.
Okay.
Now, I can understand why they might have went defensive because I don't know if you watched the Steeler game. They gave up how many points? They just let the Steelers run all over them, pass all over them. It was insane. I was like, what am I fucking watching right now?
Well, the funny thing is they were so worried about the offense and producing enough points with Blake Bortles.
Yeah.
It's funny how that game turned out. And then, obviously, the AFC Championship game versus the New England Patriots. Blake Bortles actually played really well that game.
He's not the reason they lost that game.
No, he's not the reason they lost.
He did really well, actually.
Their defense choked.
Tom Brady in the clutch, when you need a play, he's just going to make a play. And he drove down the field and they beat the Jacksonville Jaguars. But, yeah, absolutely stacked on defense.
Actually, you know what? They are a mirror image of the Chiefs.
Jalen Ramsey leads in the secondary. You have Miles Jack.
I was going to say
the linebackers are concerned, and then Calais Campbell, the big guy up front, had a fantastic season. He came originally from the Arizona Cardinals. Last year was his first season, and he was a Pro Bowler.
Leonard Fournette.
Yeah, Leonard Fournette.
Yeah.
Big running back at LSU, but he's actually pretty fast.
Huge guy, dude.
He played pretty well last season. He got off to a little bit slow start, but started to push. Obviously, the running game is going to be very important for them.
I'm looking at a list right now. This is on Jacksonville Jaguars Wire.USA Today, and these are the 4 top players in the Jaguars that could be potentially in the top 100 best players for 2018.
Jalen Ramsey, definitely.
Yeah, you said that.
Yeah, Leonard Fournette, Jalen Ramsey.
Miles Jack.
He should be.
This one says Telvin Smith.
Telvin Smith. He's a really good linebacker.
Dude, he's guy's a freak show.
Yeah.
You know what? Everybody on
about that. Yeah.
It's because there's so many. They're so stacked on their defense.
Actually, they remind me of the Giants team before we won.
They had a secondary.
Allen
no,
Robinson?
but just meaning that essence of like a quarterback, high pick, kind of very skittish in the beginning of his career.
I would say
has a good defense, a decent running game.
I would say
there's similarities.
There are similarities. Blake Bortles definitely has more questions than Eli Manning.
Well, but if Eli Manning wasn't a Manning at that point, it would be very similar.
That's true. Yeah,
because let's face it, that was the benefit of the doubt when your last name is Manning.
Yeah.
Because not for nothing, if you look at their stats,
as far as defense is concerned,
his stats are actually better than Eli's at this point in his career.
Yeah, Blake Bortles played pretty well. I mean, he didn't play great, but
he played well enough to win. There's no doubt about that.
In my opinion, he gets criticized way too much. They make it seem like he's the worst quarterback to ever touch the field. Yeah. And I mean, Joe Namath.
It's because he's he's kind of like a no-name, and they're pushing their whole Tom Brady this and Tom Brady that and anything Tom Brady. Oh, Drew Brees and fucking anybody else.
I mean, Tom Brady is the GOAT right now.
But that's they just keep throwing those names into the hat and going, no, that's the only ones. Like, who cares about? He runs the ball. Like, they don't like.
Well, that's what they say about Eli.
Yeah, they don't like quarterbacks that can run.
Not run the ball.
No, I meant the team.
He sucks.
All right, so that was 7. Who's 8?
Number 8 is the Atlanta Falcons, right? They went 10-6, and it says the Falcons draft wide receiver Calvin Ridley in the first round. Their past 2 first-round receivers, Roddy White and Julio Jones, who currently sit first and second on the franchise's all-time receiving list. So what they're trying to say is they got a really good track record when it comes to wide receivers, especially when they pick them in the first round.
Okay, so the thing is,
it's on another level.
That division is going to be tough. Because you obviously have the New Orleans Saints in that division, Carolina Panthers, which are like kind of a fringe playoff team, Atlanta. Atlanta is known for the offense. They're high-powered. I mean, like you said, they have Julio Jones, Matt Ryan, coming off a bad season last year, but the year prior to that, he was the MVP of the league. Mm-hmm. Calvin Ridley, they think he's going to be a great wide receiver. They have Mohamed Sanu, he's a good second, third receiver. They have 2 great running backs, Devontae Freeman as well as Tevin Coleman.
Keanu Neal as well.
Keanu Neal he's on the defensive end. Yeah. He's a really good player.
You said Devontae Freeman already.
He's
Brandon Fusco, which is he's the offensive lineman, I think.
I'm trying to think of
right guard.
The other guy on defense.
DeCarist McKinley.
Yeah, well, he was at UCLA.
Yeah.
He actually
Vic
had a decent-
Beasley?
Vic Beasley,
Vic Beasley. Yeah, that's the guy I was thinking of.
Deion Jones.
They have a lot of speed on that defense,
Yeah.
which is
Good.
They're small but quick.
Yeah.
Grady Jarrett.
Grady Jarrett, yeah, on the defense too, which is good for a dome team. But I mean, they're going to score high-powered points. It's just a matter if their defense is going to play well enough.
The thing with the Falcons is their success is predicated on them being able to have home field advantage. Because if they ever have to play outside of their dome in the playoffs, they're done. It's over.
You know,
They're not built to win outside.
A fast defense that comes to mind that turned out to be really like they weren't scary, but in the playoffs, that their speed is what gave them the advantage over most teams. And I'm thinking of the Colts. Like
It could be, yeah.
yeah, because the Colts had a fiercely fast defense, and when it came time to like the big games, you couldn't do anything against them.
Yeah, the thing
It
is about
disrupts
the Colts,
everything.
though, they had Dwight Freeney, who could get after the quarterback, and Bob Sanders. Remember Bob Sanders in the secondary? He was a huge difference
He was
maker.
great.
Yeah. So
And Robert Mathis on the other side of Dwight Freeney, which is good. But I think the Falcons are going to be a good team. It would be tough.
I don't know, but yeah, I don't know about
I
that.
think-
That's kind of high for me.
But I think New Orleans is going to win that division.
Yeah, I
and
agree.
then I would say Falcons probably a wild card team.
no low for the Bucks or the.
No, Bucks are going to be terrible.
Bucks will be the worst in
Yeah.
that division by
by
far.
far, yeah.
Not even close.
Let's work our way down the list then. So we just went over the Atlanta
Let's
Falcons.
do the top 10. Let's rattle out the top 10, and then we'll go where the Giants are.
Okay.
I agree with that.
So the Atlanta Falcons are number 8. Number 9 is the Green Bay Packers. So it says the Packers used their first 2 picks on defensive backs, just as they did in 2015 and 2017. They also allowed the second most passing touchdowns last season, so that investment needs to start paying off. Now, another thing, another reason why, because they went 7-9 last year, they lost. Yeah, they lost Aaron Rodgers, so he's coming back. And honestly, that's huge. It's humongous.
Yeah, I mean that's
So
it's like getting Brady back.
yeah, it is.
So they obviously they have Aaron Rodgers. That pretty much rounds it off.
I'll argue that Aaron Rodgers is more valuable than Tom Brady because when Tom Brady went down for the season, they went 11-5. When Aaron Rodgers went down,
So this is
he
going
got
to
no shot.
This is going back,
That's
obviously. The best offensive player they're saying is Aaron Rodgers. Best offensive lineman, David Bakhtiari.
He's the best quarterback I've ever seen.
Best pass rusher, Nick Perry. Clinton Diggs as the best pass
safety.
defender. Yep.
Yeah, he's good.
Breakout player, Josh Jones.
Devontae Adams is good as well. That's the wide receiver. Now they don't have Jordy Nelson. He's going to be the guy. He's going to be the number 1 guy. So we'll see how that works out. Randall Cobb, we saw what he turned out to be. He's not a number 1 receiver. Maybe he could play in the slot, number 2 receiver. Who's their running backs?
Don't they have Jimmy Graham now?
Yes, that was their big addition.
Yeah.
Jimmy Graham.
It's kind of old though.
Well, actually,
He's kinda old,
says
but-
here the best new addition was was it Mercedes Lewis.
Wow, so they have so
Yeah.
he's
Packers need to get their running game because they didn't really have a running game. Once they lost Aaron Rodgers, it's like, oh, I guess we run the ball, and
Aaron
they couldn't do
Rodgers is the
shit.
running game.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's why it says like he's the best offensive player on their team. So
Yeah, I still think that's a little bit high though. 9. I don't know if they're gonna be the 9th best overall team.
well, it's because the addition of Aaron Rodgers turns that team.
No, I get it, but there's other teams still in the were the Chiefs on that list yet?
The Chiefs are actually the next, they're number 10.
Oh, all right. I was gonna say I would have put the Chiefs higher than that.
They have a better overall roster. The thing is with the Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes. Is he going to be?
I think he's gonna be a superstar. That the Giants completely crapped the bed when they didn't trade.
I know he has a
draft him.
cannon. So Chiefs round off the top 10. Let's talk about them a little bit. Obviously, Patrick Mahomes. Is he going to be
Rookie of the year?
No, well, he's not a rookie now.
He's a rookie in my book. That's so stupid. It should be when you first play.
I guess
It's like hockey.
Well,
That's how hockey is.
You could have that debate also in the NBA. Like Ben Simmons was rookie of the year, even though he was injured his rookie season.
Right.
So it's a little bit different if you're injured. But Patrick Mahomes, let's see how he goes. Obviously, they have deep threat with Tyreek Hill, Kareem Hunt.
Sammy Watkins.
Kareem Hunt turned out to be one of the biggest steals in the draft.
Yeah.
They have Sammy Watkins, and then they have debatably, with Gronk, you have him right there. Travis Kelce, best tight end in the league.
See,
He's there.
Here's how I look at the Pat Mahomes, Alex Smith. They both have wheels.
Yeah.
Both are, obviously, Alex Smith in the NFL is proven to be accurate. They say Pat Mahomes is accurate, but they say he's got a cannon.
He's got a cannon.
So it's like he's everything that
The
Alex Smith is,
12-gauge
except
shotgun.
faster and stronger arm.
Yeah.
And that was always the knock on Alex Smith in those outdoor games in the wind. He couldn't zip the ball.
Well, it's the big playability.
Yeah.
That's what been and Tyreek Hill, he's got wheels, man. So
Sammy Watkins has got some wheels too.
Yeah. Well, that's a great addition.
It's a
also,
great tandem.
As well, as long as he stays healthy.
I'd put them in the top 3.
Kareem Hunt, it says
Kareem Hunt running back. And they have a really good defense. Hopefully Eric Berry comes back healthy for them in the secondary because that makes a huge difference for them. Who were their two pass rushers?
Actually, I can pull up.
Oh my God! How about their tight end?
Holly? Yeah, well, I already said that.
Did you?
Travis Kelce.
Oh, I didn't hear you say Travis Kelce. I was going to say.
I was saying that he's debatably
Derek Johnson.
He's the best. He's now probably debatably the best tight end in the league.
But I don't think Derek Johnson's on their team anymore.
Marcus Peters?
No, Marcus Peters is gone.
Would you take Kelce or Gronk? See, the thing is, Gronk has more sure hands because Kelce has a tendency to drop the big ball. He's like the Jeremy Shockey of today's day and age. Is that he can make great catches, but he drops some easy balls. But he doesn't get injured. Gronk is always hurt.
Travis Kelce got hurt last year.
No, but I'm talking career-wise.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Gronk is more power. He's a power tight end. Travis Kelce is more finesse. I would say at this point, I would probably take Travis Kelce.
Yeah, me too.
This is funny. It's saying like on this website, it's saying the 5 players to watch for on their defense, right? And
Justin Houston.
Justin Houston is the first one.
Yeah, that was the guy I was thinking of too.
Yeah, Justin Houston, Eric Berry,
Eric Berry, yeah.
God, I love him so much, dude.
It's a shame that he got injured.
I know, dude. He's crazy good.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Reggie Ragland. Reggie Ragland. Okay.
Yeah, he was on the Bills.
Chris Jones.
Okay, Chris Jones, yeah.
And then
he's a pass rusher.
And then they're saying Dorian O'Daniel, who's a rookie.
Well, we'll see how that turns out.
But
they're saying a good roster. So that's a team that I could see between.
And then
they could go from 8 wins to 12 wins, and I wouldn't be surprised either way.
No.
How do you say these names, man? Other names that could have made the list were players like Tano Bisagnan, however you say that guy's name, and then Kendall Fuller. So Kendall Fuller and the other guy. So those are
Sagnan.
Those are the guys.
He's got a K in front of the name, right?
Kendall Fuller's cornerback.
All right, so then you got a bunch of crap teams in between.
Yeah, and then the New York.
So where are the Giants? Let's see where they're.
So this is
right before the Jets.
Right before the Jets, yeah.
Yeah, they're probably like 20th.
So that 25th, 26th, 27th, 28th. I'm going to say the Jets are 28th. The Giants are between 25 and them.
The Giants are number 26 in the power rankings.
God. Are the Jets 28?
The Jets are number 27. So
are the Browns above us?
No. The Browns are all the way at the bottom. Actually,
the Colts.
Wow, the Colts are last.
Yeah, no. So, in my opinion, I think the Browns have a better roster than the Jets.
So the Giants beat out the Colts, the Browns, the Dolphins, the Cincinnati Bengals, the Chicago Bears, and the Jets.
We're the Browns.
They're second to last. They're 31st.
The Colts are the worst.
I disagree with that.
I do too. The thing is, though, they had a talented roster last year too. The thing is that they they're the Knicks of the NFL. They'll never be good.
So no, the difference between last year and this year is first off they got Nick Chubb, so they have a surefire running back now, and Tyrod Taylor as a quarterback instead of Deshaun Kaiser. Regardless of what you think of Tyrod Taylor, he's better than Deshaun Kaiser. And then they have Jarvis Landry too. So that's a big upgrade. They have more offensive weapons than the Jets. Who did the Jets have?
Our pick.
And then hopefully Josh Gordon comes back because he's one of the most talented guys in the NFL.
Look, over under 6 games before you've seen Baker Mayfield for the Browns.
Under. I'd say under.
Brian?
I would agree.
Under?
Yeah.
I would say under. I would be surprised if he's not in by the 4th game.
Yeah, I'm gonna say under. I'm gonna say it's gonna be closer. I think it's gonna be the 5th or the 6th game.
I don't think they're gonna be a good team per se.
No,
but I think they're gonna be in the playoff discussion up until
they're gonna be in the playoff discussion week 1.
So you think of this: the last 2 years they've won 1 game. So let's say hypothetically speaking they went 5-11.
Uh-huh.
That's 4 more games.
It's a 400% increase. Take it.
So this says, say what you will about the Giants' draft strategy, but they did walk away with the player many believe was the best prospect in the class, running back Saquon Barkley. The Giants haven't had a 1,000-yard rusher since 2012, which was Ahmad Bradshaw, and their running backs ranked 27th in yards per touch last season, which was 4.4 yards per touch.
Yeah, that's been the story of the Giants.
Great job, guys. That's a great job, Giants.
The story of the Giants. Terrible offensive line.
You like the pick?
No running back.
No, I'm talking about how shitty they were last year.
Oh.
So
okay, so let's talk about
let's talk about the Giants.
Yeah, let's talk about the additions that we've made, as well as the.
Let's talk about the draft. Brian, what did you think about the draft? Are you happy with the draft?
I mean, I am, because I do like that they picked up a running back. I mean, I always ask for a running back every single season. It's like we don't have a running back.
So with the number 2 pick, you were comfortable with taking Saquon Barkley?
I was.
You're an idiot.
I like the pick because, I mean, the Giants, they need help running the ball. Eli Manning is constantly under duress, and we all know that he can't win the games by himself. The offensive line is having trouble blocking for him. So when you have a running back that actually can build towards a play action, that's going to help the Giants, and that's what the Giants are. Think about it. Every time they won a Super Bowl or had a team that took them to the promised land, it was because of the running backs. They had a good balance between running the ball and passing the ball.
It was because of our pass rush. That's why we ended up winning.
All right, well.
Yeah, I agree.
Well,
okay, so
Eli Manning can't have success without setting up a play-action pass, and that's just a fact.
What you think about the draft really comes down to one question. Your answer to one question.
What's your opinion of Eli Manning?
What's your opinion of Eli Manning?
We made the
If
wrong.
you're not for him, you wanted a quarterback. If you are for him, you love the pick of Saquon Barkley.
Because Brian tends to live in the past, so he was
so the thing is with Saquon Barkley, I think he's going to be a productive running back in the NFL. I think he's probably the most talented person in the draft, just as far as players.
As a raw talent, yeah. I agree.
As a raw talent. Me, I don't have a high opinion of Eli Manning the last 3 to 4 years. So for me, I think, especially in this draft, you get a franchise quarterback to set you up for the next 10 years. Yeah.
Possibly.
Well, hopefully 15 years.
So
I would say 7 to 10 years.
You want me to read this list right here of the Giants' best players to be looking for next year? Because we got Lorenzo Carter, outside linebacker.
Yeah, out of Georgia. And I really like that.
Carter caught those.
Number 3, round 3 pick.
Yeah,
right?
and it says Carter caught those who covered the Giants for years off guard during the rookie minicamp practices. It has been quite some time since anyone covering the Giants had seen a linebacker as naturally gifted, from this quick twitch athleticism to his raw speed and burst, among other attributes. So that's
no, I love that pick.
Yeah, I like that
linebacker.
Pick.
He's out of the University of Georgia. He's got a lot of talent, and we really need a linebacker.
Yeah,
and I think a good addition. I know we're going to talk about this.
That's like my favorite position to watch too.
Is Alex Ogletree.
Yeah,
that's a huge addition because we haven't had an NFL linebacker in how long?
Yeah. So it's going to be interesting to see, and hopefully, with his raw talent, we'll see some changes on that defensive side, because the defense, in my opinion, was atrocious.
I don't think the defense was really our problem. Last year we didn't play well, but it's different when you're 40 minutes of the game, you're on the field.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Because you think about the year before that, our defense looked fantastic.
Well, that's another reason why
we had some more offense production.
Because you had a good running game, they could kill the clock.
We had a decent running game, but they had Odell is a playmaker.
Yeah, Odell had a great season.
If you like what he does in the offseason, which what he does off field, you just go, God, just come on, man. Don't put a camera on in Paris. Yeah. Please don't put a camera on in Paris. But he is extremely talented.
And I've been
as
watching
far as talent is concerned, right now, moving forward, I think he's the best wide receiver in the league. I think if you're just
better than Julio Jones.
If you just, in my opinion,
I'm a Giants fan.
If you just go 1 year, I would take Julio Jones. But the next 3 to 5 years, Odell Beckham has the best upside because we haven't even seen the best of him yet. He's not even in the prime of his career. So Odell is by far the best player that we've had on the Giants since Lawrence Taylor, in my opinion.
Okay, so
it's not even close.
He's dynamic.
It's not even close.
How do you say this guy's name again? Saquon Barkley.
Yeah,
okay,
out of Penn State, and he's talented as well.
He's undoubtedly the number one breakout candidate. The only reason he wasn't the first player picked 2018 NFL draft
is the Browns need a quarterback, man.
Yeah.
Oh, God, how great would it have been if they picked him? Dude, it really would have made things interesting.
But, when they picked Baker Mayfield.
Oh, I know. I was like, yep, here we go. Sam Darnold, thank God. No. And then, no, Saquon Barkley broke my heart. I almost threw my TV outside my house.
I mean, it's going to change the the playbook a little too for Eli. It's going to open up more plays that they can run with the guy with that type of
Yeah,
talent.
with his noodle arm, he'll be all right.
Yeah.
Well, okay, and so Saquon's definitely a good addition, but I think the most important thing we did in the offseason, shore up that offensive line a little bit.
Yeah.
Nate Solder will block
Richburg is gone, Pugh is gone, but Nate Solder, the best offensive tackle we've had in a while.
Yeah, that's true.
And then Will Hernandez.
Yeah, that's an interesting pick.
Go over who we added and who's been taken off the roster.
Well, actually, I'm going down the list of top 10 players to look for.
Okay, go.
So Eli Apple, cornerback.
I didn't like that pick when we first did it, and I don't like it now.
Hold on one second.
Hopefully he makes some progress, but Landon Collins, if you remember, he called him out.
Yeah.
But that was a pick that didn't make sense.
Okay, so that was Eli Apple, cornerback. And then now number 4, this says Will Hernandez, offensive guard.
Okay.
It says Hernandez was viewed as the 17th best player to enter the 2018 NFL Draft according to Pro Football Focus Big Board. He earned the best overall grade they've ever handed to an offensive guard during the 2016 season. If Hernandez can quickly translate to the NFL like we've seen in the past from rookie guards Zach Martin, Joel Batanio, Brandon Scherf, and countless other top offensive guard picks before him, he will be the best friend of running back Saquon Barkley.
So the funny thing is the 2 guards that they mentioned, Sharif, I think is his name.
Scherf, yeah.
He was on the Redskins. Zach Martin, probably the best guard.
Those were 2 guys that the Giants had targeted big time. No, but those were 2 picks at the time that the Giants were targeted to possibly look at.
Yeah.
That pick absolutely makes sense with Saquon Barkley. I mean, that's the pick that you need because the running game. And then obviously Nate Solder, we're going to shore up that left side of the line for sure.
Yeah.
It's going to take more than that to protect that.
How do you think they're going to fare again? Huh?
So it's going to take more than that to protect that numbnut behind center.
What'd you say?
So how do you think they're going to fare against some of the premier defensive linemen? When you take a look at some of the guys in just the NFC East. I mean, it's going to be a problem for them to go up against arguably one of the best defensive lines.
It can't be any worse than it was last year.
Yeah, it's not going to get worse, and they'll have their fair share of stopping them. The problem is when they don't, we have a statue behind center, so there's just nothing's going to happen.
We'll get to that in a second. Let me go over this list, and then we'll go on to your frustrations.
I think the key here is that we have Pat Shurmur now. We're going to most likely have a different offensive playbook. So what are the wrinkles that we're going to put in? Not only get Saquon going, but our running game going. And then with Odell Beckham, you could throw a screen and you could take it 70 yards.
Dude, I'll tell you what, Evan
Ingram. That was the one not great thing about Odell's injury, but it was one of the benefits of Odell and Sterling Shepard being injured.
Yeah.
Was Evan Ingram had to be the guy. And Brandon Marshall.
The whole team except Evan Ingram.
Even when he played, though, he looked terrible.
He was terrible.
Yeah,
awful.
He did not look
good. He belonged on the Jets.
He was not the addition that we thought he would be.
No.
Because they were debating, oh, my God, maybe they have the best wide receiver.
Giants have the best wide receiver core in the history of the NFL.
Yeah, Brandon Marshall. I remember one specific play where he dropped a wide open pass.
Yep.
It would have been for a touchdown. But that was the one highlight of Odell being out, Sterling Shepard being out, Brandon Marshall being out, Evan Ingram, Ole Miss.
So Evan Ingram is actually the next player, tight end.
Yeah, he really looks good.
Dude, him, Saquon,
he's not a good run
and
blocker.
Odell, all 3 of them have like an under. They're a 4.4 or 4.5 under in the 40. All 3 of them, it's like crazy.
Yeah, well, Evan Ingram I think he's the fastest fighter in the league right now.
It said
he's almost as fast as Odell.
Yeah. It says that he finished with the 2nd most yards per route run among rookie tight ends, despite being the focal point of defenses after Odell Beckham Jr., Brandon Marshall, and Sterling Shepard all dealt with injuries.
Injuries throughout the year. Odell obviously out very early.
He was like an easy target for him to go, well, he's the only one left, and he still did very well.
The success that Eli Manning has had in his career is prevalent on the tight end position.
Yeah.
And having a tall receiver.
Having a big target.
Although you know what though? But Odell has preserved. I mean, let's face it. If he didn't have Odell, he's probably not even a Giant right now.
But
he's already gone.
I'm talking about with playoff success. I mean, Odell, they've only made the playoffs once, and they lost that game versus the Packers.
Yeah, no, I agree. As far as winning is concerned, you're right.
Yeah.
I'm talking about, though, the preservation of his career at this point is all Odell.
Oh, yeah.
If Odell wasn't our pick, he'd already be out of the league.
No, yeah, he would be out of. Well, you saw what happened last year. If you don't have Odell,
That's what I'm saying.
that's what Eli
right.
is.
That's what we would have had the last 4 seasons. He's gone.
100%. That's
yeah.
why we disagree.
On this, it's saying that Saquon Barkley, the addition of Saquon Barkley, is actually going to help Ingram immensely.
Of course, because it's someone else you have to worry about on the field.
So
You can't double cover Odell.
You have another man down in the box.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you have a one-on-one with a linebacker.
Yeah.
With Evan Ingram's athletic ability, it's a mismatch. So it's going to be a huge wrinkle in
Not only
Pat Shermer's
that, think of the play action that could happen now. And he's fast. That's it. He's going to get past that defensive.
Evan Ingram's, I mean, you got a lot of
All you have to do is have now Evan Ingram running down the middle of the field. It's going to be free by himself.
So Evan Ingram, he runs a 4.4.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's crazy for a tight end.
That's a dude.
How do you even?
That's a good.
If you're a linebacker,
That's a good 40 for a wide receiver.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
Like,
what I'm saying.
4-4, that's pretty good.
Linebackers are going to go, wait a minute, well, where'd he go?
I
Yeah.
think Emmitt Smith ran like a 4.62 or something.
Yeah.
Like that.
Jesus.
And we're talking about Hall of Famer and most rushing yards in the league ever.
4.4.
Right now, the Giants have Barry Sanders at wide receiver, running back, and tight end.
Can Eli Manning do something
And
with
they
that?
still will suck.
Yeah. Oh well, that's a different story. Yeah.
It's going to be prevalent on the offensive line play and how Eli Manning plays.
You know, another thing that I'm worried about is I just want the players to stay healthy. Because last year
That's
it was
always
just
been an issue with the
freaking
Giants.
disaster, dude.
With our 90-year-old strength and conditioning coach.
Yeah.
The funny thing is that I wanted to say that most times the team that wins has good luck with injuries. Obviously, Eagles did not have good luck with injuries. They lost the best player, possibly the MVP of the league, versus the Rams, Carson Wentz.
Yeah.
And they ended up winning the Super Bowl anyway.
All right, so let's go with the next player down the list. We got Sterling Shepard, wide receiver.
Yeah, Sterling Shepard. He was a second round pick at Oklahoma. He showed promise, and I think next to Odell, he's a good second option.
I agree. And also, he did have a touchdown against Eagles that was taken back. It was clearly a touchdown.
Yeah. It says Shepard was never the same player after his training camp ankle injury in 2017, but there were spurts of action where he was healthy enough to showcase what he had learned as a rookie in 2016. In the 2-game stretch that included consecutive games against the 49ers and Rams, Shepard racked up 16 receptions for 212 receiving yards. In 2 games after, against the Eagles in 2017, Shepard racked up 18 receptions for 272 yards and 2 touchdowns. So he has shown flashes of brilliance as an explosive threat after the catch, but also a savvy route runner with the ability to win on vertical routes down the field.
I think he could be a more talented Steve Smith, and I don't mean the Steve Smith from the Carolina Panthers with the Giants.
You know what, though? But he's very much like Stephon Diggs on the Vikings. His skill set is almost identical, and that's Pat Shermer. Pat Shermer was on the Vikings last year, or with them, I should say.
He was offensive coordinator. That's a great point. So hopefully we see a pop in Sterling Shepard.
Yeah, he could
More
probably do something with them.
2016 than 2017.
What do you think? You agree, Brian?
I agree 100%. I just I don't know, because that's the thing when you see injuries like that, and people can just drop. They're just dropping like flies.
Yeah, especially with the ankle injury at the wide receiver
especially with the Giants.
Yeah. So the next guy is Rhett Ellison, tight end for the New York Giants.
I don't expect much out of him.
He was an unsung hero.
Why they put him on there?
Yeah.
Well, was he on the Vikings?
Let me see.
Yeah, he was on the Vikings.
Yeah.
And then the Giants picked up another Vikings tight end off of under some waivers rule.
Not Rudolph.
This offseason. No. And the Vikings were upset because it was it's a rule that they're trying to get rid of, and the Giants kind of backdoored him.
Exactly what you're talking about.
I just don't know the player.
Name.
You know, it was funny. It says here that it says don't be surprised if he also lines up as a
fullback. Yeah, that's what they said last
which
season.
he did on the Vikings. Yeah.
So the thing is with Evan Ingram, as good as he is, and all the upside that we talked about,
He can't block.
he's not a blocker.
But you know what Saquon is.
Saquon and Rhett Ellison is going to be a blocking tight end. So maybe it could be a good addition for the Giants.
And what they're saying here is that he's he's good at blocking, and he can be a sneaky option for receiving.
Mm-hmm.
So he might be the total package of the
He'll be
Giants.
the Madison Hedgecock of
Yeah. So there's that.
Who was the other guy we had after him? He was an Eagles fan.
Heinowski.
Heinowski, yeah.
We got B.J. Goodson, inside linebacker.
From Clemson. Yep.
He showed some promise last year. He had a few really good games.
They said they had a really good training camp in 2017 offseason.
All I remember is he sacked Dak Prescott. That was enough for me.
He's out of Clemson, B.J. Goodson.
He was used aggressively just before the NFL 2018 draft. He was used aggressively and was seen blitzing the A-gap between the center and guard on a fairly consistent basis. A linebacker core of Olivier Vernon, Alec Ogletree, and potentially third-round pick Lorenzo Carter around Goodson.
Well, that's what's going to be interesting is now this 3-4 defense. We've spent pretty much most of our adult lives now getting used to the Giants being a 4-3.
Yeah.
Pass rush coming from defense.
Which I like. I like the 4-3, you know? That's what I'm used to seeing.
Yeah, but for the new NFL, man, 3-4 is the way to go. Yeah.
You want hybrids now.
Yeah, you want linebackers that are smaller and faster and can cover more ground with because everyone's so athletic now. Like, think about the tight end position. 15 years ago, think about Jeremy Shockey. He was like, oh my God, he was
4.95 speed.
Yeah, he was like, oh, what an athletic freak of nature. Like, now he would suck. He'd be like a bottom tier as far as athletic ability. Tight end. No, but you get my point.
Yeah.
Is the game has changed.
So the funny thing is, even though Brian says that we were getting used to the 4-3, the most success we've ever had
was with the 3-4 with Lawrence Taylor. Yeah.
You have Lawrence Taylor, you have Harry Carson,
Carl Gary Reasons.
Gary Reasons, yeah.
All right, so on to the next guy. We got Patrick Omama, whatever his name is.
Is that the guard? Wasn't he on the Jacksonville Jaguars?
Patrick Omama.
Yeah, he was on the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah, he was the right guard. So we picked him up from the Jaguars.
Can't hurt.
We need offensive linemen.
So Omama or Omame.
Better than what we got.
I'm going to call him Patrick O. Started every game. Yeah, Patty O. So Patty O.
Think about his addition. Oh my.
He started every game at left guard for the Jacksonville Jaguars in 2017, and that included multiple postseason performances that earned him praise for his steady play.
I mean, well, they had a good running game, so.
Gettleman's like, he's the Holly Mug I want.
So he has not yet won over the analysts at Pro Bowl or Pro Football Focus, who give him average marks as a pass and run blocker, but he clearly won over Dave Gettleman, and that's the Giants general manager. Yeah. So that's another one. Now we're going down. I guess the Giants don't really have much good guys.
You screwed us, Dave. Chad
Wheeler at offensive tackle.
So. I like the way Chad Wheeler played at the end of last season.
Right towards the tail end.
I mean, he dogged it just enough so that we lost the game, got that good pick, only to screw it up.
I don't like the way this starts either. It says, we are less confident in Wheeler breaking out than anyone on this list. But because of what a potential breakout...
Because the Giants lack depth.
Yeah.
Depth and talent, he's on the list.
So that's like the 10. Obviously, most of them were on defense. And there's a couple of guys on offense that, especially that tight end, that's huge.
So obviously the most important position for an offensive line is left tackle. We got Nate Solder. That's a 100% upgraded over Eric Flowers, I-74, I like to call him, because he's the sure way to the quarterback.
So these are the roster players most vital to the team's success.
So as far as Chad Wheeler, they're saying he's going to play right tackle? Is that what they're saying? Because it will be interesting to see what they do with Eric Flowers. They try to get rid of him, or they move him to the right tackle as opposed to where he was playing before, the left tackle.
Yeah, it says Wheeler drew more than one start at right tackle, and he looked like a completely different player. So Wheeler is still learning how to play the right side of the line, and this is a great example for how difficult switching sides actually is. And then it says, see Eric Flowers. In Wheeler can fill in all the blanks. The right side of the Giants' offensive line will go from major liability to nothing to worry about. Well, I mean, Eric Flowers back there, you got to watch out for him. He might tackle you.
He's terrible. I don't know what they're going to do with him.
Yeah,
because if you play in the right, you have Nate Solder playing the left.
There might be a water boy position.
as a guard, and then the other guy.
There might be a water boy position.
And the other guard. And I mean, they're not moving Eric Flowers as a center, so these are interesting to see what they do with him.
So that was a roster list of players most vital to the team's success.
Mm-hmm. And they didn't.
How do you feel about?
Did they put Ogletree on there?
They didn't put Ogletree on there.
I think they
Which
did.
is surprising.
No, they mentioned him, but I mean, we all know that obviously he's already going to be amazing. We just need guys to, continue to be pretty much on his side. Like, I guess help him out, give him some support. We need supporting cast members, and these guys need to. This might be the deciding factor to whether we see an elite team or the same old Giants.
So most people debate, can you buy a defense in free agency? And we proved that you can.
We did the year before.
Yeah. So we got Snacks, we got Janoris Jenkins, and then Olivier Vernon.
Which they
and that's
came out of that defense came out of
And
nowhere.
Olivier Vernon was the weakest.
And now with Alex
paid.
Ogletree, we have a potential Pro Bowler at every level
Yeah.
of the defense. I mean, Olivier Vernon,
Landon Collins is still the heart and soul of that defense right now, and Snacks is too.
Yeah,
But Landon Collins is that captain.
But I'm saying Snacks, Olivier Vernon. You obviously have potential Pro Bowl players.
Oh yeah,
Snacks is a Pro
100%.
Bowler. Alex Ogletree.
Olivier Vernon's kind of, but yeah, he has the talent.
He has the ability to be.
Yeah.
Now you have Alex Ogletree.
Mm-hmm.
He could be a Pro Bowler at the linebacker level. And then on the secondary, you have Collins
And
safety,
Jenkins, yeah.
absolutely Pro Bowler. Janoris Jenkins, Pro Bowler. We'll see what Eli.
Collins' arm injury kind of freaks me out though a little bit.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with Eli Apple, and then you have DRC as.
Eli Apple's apparently having a good training camp. He better get his head up his ass.
Well, that's the thing is we don't see like a lot of times people break out in training camp, and you hear them out of like remember Victor Cruz all of a sudden like hey he's having.
Well, that was preseason. It wasn't even training.
Well,
yet.
no, that's
it was
why
that
they
game
went
against the
Jets,
Jets.
right?
Yeah. He didn't even have the number 80 at that point yet. It was like number
3.
6 or 5.
No, it was number 3. He was
Number 3. Yeah, it was single digit.
Something crazy like that.
He was 0-0.
You know who the best Eli in training camp's been? Eli Apple.
So now let's move on. That's a good segue. Let's talk about Eli Manning because I feel that he still has mileage.
You're the typical Giants fan right now. You know, you're like, oh, we got to get a running game. Eli Manning still got a couple years left. Need an offensive line. We'll be good. Odell Beckham's a problem. Let's get rid of the best talent we've had since LT. Idiots. Fucking idiots.
So here we go. Eli Manning, this is what Eli Manning said. He said, I enjoy the spring, Manning said. That's it. That's all he said is, I enjoy the spring. No, it says,
Play the fault,
it's a great time of year, or it's a great time to get the guys together and to to start working on their craft. We have a new offense. I think it's very important to get in to learn it. It is very exciting for me to be in the meeting room with the coaching staff and get to learn the football or whatever. I don't know if I'm saying.
You know those commercials, Captain Obvious?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. It sounds not good.
Him and Neil Bellevue would get along great.
It's good to learn something that we didn't know before in the offensive line.
I'm actually skipping through because a lot of this is nonsense. Buying into so it says Manning also said the forgettable performance of last year's team has been purged from his memory, and it says when you have a new
You don't remember anything.
yeah when you have a new coaching staff you get a clean slate, which is true. It's a completely new coaching staff. You have to prove to them that you are ready, can get the job done, and can be prepared. I try to get better every day, pick their brain and their mind, which is a redundant statement. Make sure I am doing what they want me to do and what they expect from me. I think that
It's a conformist.
Yeah, I think that is what you try and do every year, and you have to go out there and produce, make plays on Sunday.
Yeah, but that's kind of a bullcrap statement. Coming from him, it is. Because when you say something like you have to prove them you were ready and get the job done, like that's absolute bullcrap. Because we went with Dave Gettleman because ownership made the decision that we were going to keep Eli Manning.
So the new coaches are enthused to work with Manning, and it says Shermer was asked if Manning has surprised him in any way. I'm always surprised at how smart he is.
I'm surprised.
Yeah, and how
I'm surprised by that comment.
Yeah, and at how things I don't want to say come easy to him because he studies.
It's an absolute savant.
He has a great feel. He says he has. It says
like Rain Man Manning.
It says he has a great feel for the game, and that great feel for the game is backed up by a heck of a lot of work, Coach said. So when you have that combination, a guy that can really see the game and then a guy that really works at it, then I think the sky is the limit. So it seems like Shermer is enthused. The coaching staff is really enjoying working with him, and they're saying that he does have a lot of knowledge. So
let's
we
get the
forget that.
accolades out of the way with him.
Yeah.
He's the best quarterback in Giants history. He has 2 Super Bowls, which is no other quarterback in Giants history has 2 starting Super Bowls. championships.
Yeah.
The best season we ever had was 2008, and Plex shot himself, and he screwed that up. The thing is with Eli Manning, the last 3 to 4 years, I'm not seeing the consistency I need. And I think Chris would agree with that statement. And that's the reason that we were, let's say, upset with the draft.
No. I was upset when the Giants lose a preseason game.
Chris was mortified.
I literally almost threw my TV outside of my house. I told myself, well, you got to think about it. Because really, since week 4 of last season, so you're talking about September of 2017, I'm already like, oh, we're going to be the first pick. This is going to be amazing. We're going to get the quarterback of the future. Let's get rid of this bum. I already knew he sucked. Now everyone else is finally starting to see what I've seen for 6 seasons. I forecasted this shit a long time ago. He sucks. You know what it is? As a sports fan, I'm not sentimental, right? I treat my sports teams like a business. And the Giants more so than any other team because, to me, they are like a business because I spend a lot of money on season tickets for them. Mm-hmm. And that costs me like a freaking mortgage every season for these stupid bums.
And what row is that, by the way?
That is section 134, row 3, seats 7 and 8.
So if you're looking for Giants
tickets. Yeah, so I actually just got my Giants season tickets in the middle of the day. How serendipitous. If you're looking for season tickets, they're supposed to be good this year.
Email.
27th best team possibly in the league. Hit me up at jc_walksonwater at yahoo.com or cfelico718 at yahoo.com.
So I'm on 247 Sports, and they're talking about Eli Manning.
24/7. You just said 24/7 Sports.
Yeah, 24/7 Sports. Eli Manning. They're talking about Eli Manning and the Giants and how he's going to fare in the odds at Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So it says Eli Manning will be back with the New York Giants in 2018 if the Las Vegas odds makers are correct again. Bovado has posted odds on what team Manning will play for. Well, I guess this is a
for what 2018.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know it.
He's one of the Giants. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Oh, this must have been when they weren't sure at that point.
Yeah.
Before we sold out and got Gettleman.
Yeah. So I have a question then. So you really think that Eli Manning should not be the Giants quarterback at all?
Not in the least bit. It's well overdue.
So you think that?
I have reservations about it.
Yeah.
I'm not necessarily saying I don't think you should have started this year, but I think we should have planned for the future in this draft. Because it's not many times where you get the top 3 picks where you can get a quarterback of the future. And I think that there were a lot of great quarterbacks in this draft, and we had who we thought was the number 1 guy. So Baker Mayfield obviously goes number 1 to the Cleveland Browns. No one thought that. They thought Sam Darnold was going. They maybe even thought Josh Allen was going number 1. No one thought Baker Mayfield was going 1. So as soon as they make that selection, I'm thinking, okay, the Giants have their pick of whatever quarterback they want.
Right.
And they pick Saquon Barkley. So obviously they knew Dave Gettleman was looking to keep Eli Manning and try to get him another weapon. So now the only good thing is Eli Manning has no excuses this year.
Well, that's the biggest thing for me. I almost cut, and it's sad. I hate saying this because I'm a Giants fan. I want him to do well, but there's that little dark side of me that just deep down inside is like, just let them fail miserably so he could be exposed for the rat fucking bastard that he is. Because everyone's against me. Well, Matt's kind of finally starting to see what I've been seeing, but like family members and other people.
I'm going to have to disagree because Eli Manning did not have hit any one of his wide receivers.
Brian, but case
and not a running game.
You know what? Let's case in point. Matt made a point the other about 10 seconds ago or 2 minutes ago about best team we ever had 2008. Flack shoots himself.
Yeah, that happened.
We completely imploded after that. If Eli Manning was so fucking great, why did we not? No, okay, but we didn't win with the best and most talented team we've had, possibly in Giants history to that point. They were 9-1.
Not the most talented, but probably.
But that year, the Giants, I think they went 12.
12-4, but Brian, they were 9-1 when that happened. They were stomping teams out.
11-1, right? At some point, were they not 11-1?
No, they weren't 11-1 because they finished 12-4.
Yeah.
Oh, you might be right.
I thought they were 11-1
because they lost 3 of their last 4. Yeah, you might be right. It was 11-1. Dude, they were stomping teams out though, Brian.
Yeah.
Dominic Kicks.
I mean, it was ridiculous. The only game that we got killed that year was coincidentally against the Browns. We were 5-0.
Yeah.
On Monday Night
Wow,
Football.
yeah, I remember that game.
4 or 5.
Didn't make any sense. That's a trap game.
We were 5-0, and we got killed. We were 5-1, and then they were just stuck. Remember, we went to the Ravens game. They beat them like 30-9.
Yeah, they were killing them.
It was an embarrassment.
So I'm gonna actually speed this along. Let's talk about the schedule.
Yeah.
You want to talk about the Giants?
I just want to say the last thing about Eli Manning. I'm hoping that they do well this season.
Yeah.
I don't want to see them implode. I want him to go off the last 2 to 3 years in a good light.
Do you think
Because
that?
I know. You know what would be best case scenario?
No, okay, so yeah.
Eli Manning gets hurt in preseason. Davis Webb leads him to the
That's
promised
awesome.
land, and we watch him go away.
That is incredible.
That's
Now,
terrible.
how do you feel about what they did to Eli Manning last
It was
year?
terrible.
Ben McAdoo, I hate you.
I
hate you.
I'm going to tell you this right now. I think they set him up to fail. They told him we want Geno Smith to play. So they could fire him, which I totally agree. Ben McAdoo should have been gone.
Yeah. And they let it happen.
They let it happen, but
Ruining Eli Manning's streak. It's the only good thing we had going that year.
The crazy thing is, I look at it 2 ways. I wanted them to play Davis Webb at some point, but I understand why they didn't start him.
Yeah.
Because everyone would be against Davis Webb, and it would be so much pressure that you
were the guy who stopped the streak.
Yes. So I understand why they started Geno Smith, but that we never saw Davis Webb.
They should have put
really
Geno
pisses
Smith
me
in
off.
for a snap, not blocked, let him get killed on a play, and then
Fake an injury.
Right.
Oh, but like.
No, just literally don't block for him. He would have screwed it up. X-Jet would have screwed it up, and then they would have had to put Davis Webb in. It would have been perfect.
But another thing that pissed me off, we didn't see Davis Webb that much in the preseason. And remember
They had Geno Smith and Josh Johnson battling out for the backup spot. Like, you knew Josh Johnson wasn't making that team. I was making the team before fucking Josh Johnson. He was throwing ducks out there. He looked like Eli Manning.
Within 3 series of the first preseason game, I go, Geno Smith is by far the second best quarterback on this team. Let's see Davis Webb. What was his name?
Josh Johnson.
Josh Johnson couldn't even throw a goddamn ball. Obviously, he's not going to make the team.
No.
So they didn't play Davis Webb, which really pissed me off. And then obviously they stopped the streak for Eli Manning to put in Geno Smith, whatever it is, what it is. They don't even play Davis Webb in the last 4 games.
I swear
what
to you,
are
man.
you doing?
I swear to you, like Ben McAdoo.
That's what
fucking hated his
Ben
guts,
McAdoo's
dude.
gone. He was gone on my birthday, December 4th.
Yeah.
My Uncle Rob texted me. He's like, happy birthday.
We had a party. at
And
my
Jerry
house.
Reese. Jerry Reese
Everybody had parties.
Jerry Reese finally got fired, clean house. But the thing that pisses me off is if we were going to get rid of Tom Coughlin, we should have got rid of Jerry Reese at the same time.
100%.
I know. What was that
100%.
all about? Jerry Reese is just a
Because
piece
the
of
thing
trash.
is,
Getting rid of Tom Coughlin was the right decision, but I agree with Matt. It should have been Tom Coughlin, Jerry Reese, and get a real coach, not that whatever that was.
the crazy thing is
McAdoo.
he could have went to the Eagles. Doug Peterson would have been on the Eagles, and they probably wouldn't have won the Super Bowl.
Nope.
Which really pisses me off.
That's the Giants, man. That's the Giants for you.
But you know what though? But in typical Giants fashion, we made the wrong decision again. I mean, the jury's still out on Pat Shermer. I really don't know what to expect. But Dave Gettleman, I just
I don't want to get on Shermer's case though.
If it was me, it's typical Giants, just like keeping it in the family, incestual. We think we're good, but we're really not that good because we sell out every freaking game whether we suck or not.
Yeah.
But the thing is, in
Typical.
2015, we didn't have a defensive player that should have been in the NFL.
Uh-huh.
So they get Snacks Harrison, they get Olivier Vernon, they get Janoris Jenkins. You should have given Tom Coughlin one more shot if you're going to keep Jerry Reese. It should have been a package deal.
That's fair.
It should have been a package deal.
Yeah. A lot of fans are angry about that.
Because again, typical Giants fans, they I got to be honest, our fans are pretty dumb when it comes to football.
Well, I actually disagree.
They're very conservative.
We're the
See, in
best.
sports, I am extremely liberal. Fiscally, economically, socially, very conservative.
Well,
sports, liberals it gets. We lose, get rid of everyone.
Let me tell you,
fire them all.
Finish him.
No continuity. Kill everyone. Take them out back. Shoot them with a dead horse.
Let me tell you a little bit about Chris Felico with the Giants.
And Rangers.
First drive of the season, incomplete pass, get rid of the ball.
Game's
That's
over.
what he's saying. He's like,
Season's over.
God damn,
Very
get rid of the
passionate.
ball.
If
Very
we win
passionate.
3 games, we're lucky. I was right.
Yeah.
Remember that year when we lost 2 games in a row, and then you were like, "Say it's over," and then we won the Super Bowl. So,
on 2, yeah.
and against the best team in football.
It was over. We were going to win the Super Bowl. I called it.
Oh, I see.
Remember we got stomped out of the Packers?
Oh,
We were at
God.
that game.
All right, so now that we discussed
Go to the
that,
schedule.
yeah, let's talk about the schedule for a second, okay?
And then just skip preseason, please. I don't even need to see those 4 games.
Well, we got to talk about everything, right? Don't we?
I guess we'll talk about preseason.
All right. So this is the New York Giants schedule and our analysis on that, and I'm sure Chris will be very vocal about it.
Oh, he's gonna love it.
Come on.
All right, so it's
Very optimistic.
I guess this doesn't even go over the preseason games.
No, it's a waste of time. Let's go.
It is a waste of time.
All right, so
They
first,
shouldn't even have 4 preseason games.
Now, you got to specify home or away.
so
Yes.
Okay.
so I
I need to know what time the game is, too. That actually plays a big
It
factor
does
with the
play.
Giants.
so the first game is on September 9th, and it is at Giants Stadium, in MetLife Stadium, and it is against the Jaguars at 1:00.
Loss.
That is a tremendous game to go
Loss. It's too
into.
much pressure on the
That
Giants
is,
at home.
think about that defense.
Everyone's going to expect us to win. Because
No, I don't think anybody's
No.
expecting the Giants offense to do anything against that immaculate
You'd be
defense.
shocked. Right now, they're basically hailing the Giants, the freaking
Do you
0-2
have a pen?
Rams.
I have a pen.
I want to write it down on this box.
Here, you can write it down on this piece of paper.
Okay, cool.
So the
I'll
Giants,
tally it.
the
I'll
Giants,
keep everyone's
Yeah,
thing.
it for all of us.
'Cause I'm
So we obviously talked about the defense.
it's going to be a
of the
serious loss.
You
The
think
question
it
is, can we stop the bleeding?
Jags. See, I think that's a win.
Yeah, okay.
I think it's a win.
Ooh.
I think it's a win. Obviously, we
It's
talked
all about matchups. It's all about
We
matchups.
talked about the Jacksonville Jaguars. Obviously, they have a stacked defense.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, our offensive line shows up. We're going to see what they are, and we're
Yeah.
going to see what Saquon Barkley is.
That's a huge test for the Giants, yeah.
Okay.
But the thing is, if Blake Bortles in MetLife Stadium, there's a little bit of. It depends if there's winds that day. There's a little bit of a swirling wind.
Yeah, but September we traditionally don't have wins.
I would lean.
Yeah.
I would lean towards the Giants on that one. So I
Okay.
would say that's a win.
All right.
Okay, so see, the second game is going to be away, and they're playing. Oh my God, it's a Sunday night football game.
Wait, who is it?
Sunday night football.
All right, give me
We're playing the
it. Oh,
Cowboys.
I'm surprised we're not week one.
Yeah. So it's gonna be Sunday night.
All right, so that's a loss.
So that's at Jerry World.
You know,
Is it at or home?
that might be that's gonna be a Monday night football game. That's Monday night.
Monday night, definitive loss.
Is it at Jerry World?
It's
Yeah,
in
it's
Jerry
at
World.
Jerry World.
It's in Jerry World, and it's on Monday night. It's gonna be on NBC.
I think that's a win.
Oh man, that's
Brian?
okay. So I
Come on,
think
gut.
they're gonna win. I think they're gonna win too. But
Okay, so right now you're at 1-1, you're 2-0, and I'm
That's
at 0-2.
for some reason the Giants play well in Cowboy Stadium.
We do play
We do
better
play.
there, but
Yeah.
we've also lost a little bit of our luster there.
In the division,
Yeah.
I feel like away games are like home games.
Yeah.
I feel more confident away than I do at home. For
I would
most of
agree
these.
with
Especially against like guys like the Cowboys and
Yeah, no, Jerry World, because we're up for the game.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what
Giants do not like
they,
losing to
They
them.
play up or down
All right.
to their opponents.
Next
That's
game.
why I think the Jaguars are going to.
So we're gonna power through all this. So the next game is gonna be at was it Houston in Texas?
At Houston,
yeah.
what time?
It's at 1:00. They're playing the Texans.
That's a win
That's
for
a
me.
letdown. I think we lose that game. Deshaun Watson's back. They got DeAndre
Brian?
Hopkins. They have
No
their
way.
defensive personnel back.
What do you got,
I
Brian?
I can't see them losing to the
I
Texans.
think
No
we
way.
lose that game.
All right, so you're both 2-1,
I think-
I'm 1-2.
I think the Giants are going to go into Texas and take out both their teams. That's what they're going to do.
See, if the Giants were supposed to be good and we're going to be good, I would say 100% with Matt. It would be a total letdown. We would expect to win, and we would lose. It would be like a Vince Young running
Yeah.
around, throwing the
The
ball.
Giants
in place.
play at
But
their
because we're already
opponents.
going to we will have been actually beaten down on national television and by the Jaguars at home to open up the season. I think it's going to be a win.
Yeah.
It's just to give me a little bit of glimmer of hope, just to crush me the next week.
So the way that you see the schedule, I would think the same thing. But the way that I see the schedule,
But I know
we
it's
win
the
two
opposite,
games,
right.
it's
Yeah, that's what I'm
absolute
saying.
opposite, yeah.
All right. So this next one is at home. It's at 4:25. It's against the Saints.
Doesn't matter what time. That's
Doesn't
what it
matter.
is.
That is a every time I've watched the Giants play the Saints,
Yeah, it doesn't
it
matter
has
where
been
either.
just as
Doesn't matter.
No, so after Hurricane Katrina, we won. I remember that.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's
Since
right.
Drew-
They had a lot of things on their mind.
Since Drew Brees has been there, it's been ass whooping after ass whooping.
It's-
Loss.
He
So
decimates
I-
the Giants.
I think that's going to be a letdown too. I think that's going to be.
However, it would be interesting to see how the new defense plays against
Interesting.
that.
Could you give me a loss or win?
Oh, I said they're going to get destroyed.
Okay.
It's not even funny.
I don't think they're going to get destroyed. But if they were playing in New Orleans,
Oh, forget it.
absolutely
30-point
Yeah.
loss minimum.
But
Devastating.
I think obviously the Saints have a much better roster than us. in my opinion. They have a better quarterback too. So I think they win that game. The only thing is that Mark Ingram, who had a great season last year, is going to be out the first 4 games.
Yeah.
PEDs.
Okay.
So we'll see who Alvin Kamara is throughout the first 4 games of the season. If he plays really well, they have no chance. Michael Thomas as well is a great first number 1 receiver on the Saints. Obviously, they have Drew Brees. They have actually good personnel on defense for once. I think the Saints beat us in that.
All right,
game.
so you guys are both at 2-2. I'm at 1-3. Next, week 5.
Okay, so the Giants are playing in Carolina, which I'm going to be at that game.
That's great.
I'm traveling down to go watch that game. That game's at 1:00. And
In Carolina?
In Carolina.
I say we win that game.
We win that game.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you this. I think that's going to be Saquon Barkley's coming out party. I think he's going to have a great game.
I think he might even tackle Cam Newton.
I was going to say, I think Cam Newton is going to get dropped a
Yeah,
lot.
Cam Newton's the softest player in the NFL.
So the thing is with the Carolina
I don't know
Panthers,
about that.
Win?
Oh, yeah, I think they're
I
going to
think
beat
the
him.
thing is with the Carolina Panthers, they have one of the best front 7 on defense.
Yeah.
They got Luke Kuechly, obviously Tommy
Saquon
Jenkins.
Barkley's going to truck him.
They have Shore, Luleo, both really good defensive tackles on that team. But I think Saquon Barkley is going to have 150 yards in that game. I'm saying overall. So that's receiving as well as rushing.
He's going to truck Luke Kuechly on the last play of the game to score a touchdown, blow out his knee. He'll never be the same. That's my guess.
So I think we win that game. So
Wow.
right now we're 3-2 for me.
So the next one is interesting because it's on a Thursday night. And the Giants are going to be
Short week.
Oh, God,
And
don't tell me who it is.
It's going to be home and they're playing the Eagles.
Loss.
That's a lot.
Unbelievable, man.
It's at home.
It's at home.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter. It's not any night
It doesn't
versus
matter.
the Eagles. It could be on the fucking moon they lose.
Yeah. It's going to be bad,
I
man.
think that's going to be a loss too, man. The Eagles.
A short week against the Eagles, dude.
They're
I
obviously-
think we're unanimous on this one.
They're number 1 in the power ranking. They
Yeah.
have debatably the best roster in football.
Wow,
They
the
have
last
the-
3 games we were all unanimous.
The
Yeah.
best young quarterback coming back, Carson Wentz, would have been the MVP of the league had he not got hurt.
I don't know if he's going to be the best young quarterback because I really think Patrick Mahomes is going to be special.
Okay, who do you think's better right now, though?
Patrick Mahomes with 2 good knees.
Okay,
And
so
I do not trust,
He brings up a good point.
I don't trust gingers. I'm sorry. Soulless. Go on.
Dude, Andy Dalton's the best quarterback at Red Rifle.
Red
Best
Rifle.
quarterback I've ever seen.
so the next one's going to be Sunday night football game.
Okay.
How many night games do we have?
I don't know,
We got a
man.
lot of primetime games.
We
though.
do got a lot of prime time games, which
because
is
listen,
good.
we're a team that's interesting just because of Odell and now Saquon.
Yeah, people want to see those players.
Yeah.
Yeah, they want to see us
True.
lose. Who's it against?
They're playing the Falcons.
Where?
And that's in Atlanta.
Loss.
God damn, man.
This is a great season so far, guys.
Give me a break.
It's gonna be
Brian?
beautiful. I mean, come on.
Lost, Brian?
Yeah, Julio Jones. I mean, I
Yeah,
can't
he's
believe.
overrated. Go on, man.
That's a tough. For some reason, that would be a game we somehow win. I don't know why
you know what?
I feel that way.
If the Giants can keep the game close,
Okay, so
If they can keep it close, it'll be a close game.
this is what I think happened.
no, I think they can win.
This
I
is-
think if it's a close game, they'll win it.
I think it's going to be a win. I'm going to tell you the reason why. The Thursday before, that means we have kind of a small bye, so we have 10 days to prepare for this team, and we're going to get stomped out by the Eagles, which means that we have a bounce back game. So
And that's a longer week for them.
well, that's what I'm
Yeah.
Brian, are
saying.
you switching to a win?
That's what I'm saying.
No, I think they're still
It's almost like a mini bye.
It's gonna be
That's a boy.
But it's almost like a mini bye when you have the 10 days off.
yeah.
So we
But
have
how many
time-
times have we watched the Giants come out of buys and think, oh, they had time to, they got destroyed, game's over?
They were horrible.
But the only reason I'm saying a win is because they're coming off the heels of a terrible performance. They rarely do 2 terrible performances if they have a decent team.
Did you
Which I-
watch last season?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But they have a decent team this year.
They
Well,
do.
before the injuries, they were still talented.
But
That's the thing. That's what he's saying. They're back. They're healthy.
First
Week
off-
5 is when they all got hurt because all of them went down the same game.
Which they were 0-5 though by that time.
But this
That's
is
what I'm
the thing,
saying.
though. Odell got hurt in the preseason, so
He's right,
Never,
yeah, he
he
wasn't
was
the same.
never the player that he was.
You're right
because
about
he
He's
that.
right.
had
He's
a
right.
nagging
Fair
injury.
enough.
Okay.
So I'm saying a win.
All right, next
Saying a
week.
win. Okay,
I'm
wow.
saying a win versus the Falcons.
All right, finally we got another. Finally, I can have a win. They're playing at home and they're playing the Redskins at 1:00.
See, I think we get swept by the Rams.
No way! Oh, come
I think that's a
on!
loss.
I think that's a victory.
I think that's a loss, and I'll tell you why. I remember specifically when they had Rex Grossman, and we got swept that season. And we were by far the better team versus the Redskins. For some reason, I think we get swept by the Redskins this year. It doesn't make any sense.
No way.
They have
I
Alex
strongly
Smith,
disagree.
which in my opinion would be better for the Redskins than Kirk Cousins. They have Darius Geis, which people were debating whether he was the best running back in the draft. Most people thought it was Saquon Barkley, but Darius Geis was the second
I'm
best
going.
running
I'm
back in the
going
draft.
win. We just have Alex Smith's number.
I think we lose it. I think we lose this game.
I think they.
And I don't like that I think that, but I think we get swept by the
All right,
Redskins.
I think after they destroy the Redskins, they're gonna look up at the camera and give the finger to you. They're gonna say, "You man, you."
This is for you. And they just go like,
They just kill the guy and go, and they hold his head up like, "Ah, you."
I would love to see the finger. I don't think I'm gonna see it.
Yeah.
who's week 9?
So week 9 is bye week.
We lose.
So
Yeah, we lose.
yeah, we're gonna lose that.
I feel like we're gonna tie on the bye week.
Yeah, we might
No,
tie.
someone's gonna get hurt.
Yeah. Let's just in. Everybody on the offensive side is in.
Flex will shoot the other leg.
So,
Flex came back and shot everyone else.
so what are we thinking? Trampoline?
Trampoline accident. This time
Eli
fireworks.
Manning gets an extension.
Okay, so
They get their fireworks and they blew off more fingers.
So that's a bye week off a division game. Okay.
Uh-huh.
All right, then who?
So then they come back and they're going to San Francisco, and that is a Sunday night football game against the 49ers.
We win it.
It's going to be a domination.
We win that game. I don't think it's done.
I think they're gonna be
I think we win it.
I think they come off the bye and they impress us, and that's when
I'm
the
going
things
with a loss.
change. Here's the thing. After the bye week,
It's such a winnable game. It's a loss.
if they beat the 49ers, like I think after that bye week, that's the moment. Usually that's when the Giants turn it on and they start showing us what the team they're going to be from that point on. They're either going to be an inspirational team or they're just going to shit
See,
the
I
bed.
disagree. They usually go 6-2 and then start crapping the bed. That's generally how the Giants do it.
That's a way.
It's a way. It's a 49ers.
That's the only thing that scares me.
That's what
It is
got
a way,
me.
but we're a much more talented team.
Away
than
and
San Francisco.
away and at night scares me.
And for some reason, I feel like Jimmy Garoppolo is not going to be the quarterback everyone thinks
I
he's going to
agree.
be this year at
Yeah,
least.
I agree.
I don't know about the future, but I think this year he's not going to have a great year.
Oh my God, we're gonna be so wrong. All right, so the next game is gonna be at home at 1:00 against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
That's a win.
That's a win.
Finally,
Win.
so I got 2 wins right in a row. What's
The
up?
funny thing is that could be 11. No, that should-
Let's just assume the Giants go winless.
It would be a win. Everyone.
Then who?
Well, most people know the sexual allegations that Jameis Winston had with
Yeah.
an Uber driver. He's going to be out 3 games.
Yeah.
They don't have that great of a roster. I think it's going to be a letdown season. I would be surprised if they're not one of the worst 5 teams,
If not the worst.
if not
Yeah.
the worst team. Yeah. I feel better about the Browns than I do about Tampa Bay, and that's all I'm going to say.
Who'd you pick, Chris?
I think we had wins across the board.
Yeah.
I think that's the first time we had wins across. the
No,
board.
we've had a couple of unanimous. We had 3 in a row, actually. No.
Okay, so
Yeah, we did.
3 in a row.
Yeah, we had all loss, all win, all
No,
loss.
I'm saying all 3 wins.
yeah, I think that's what
we had it before once.
Yeah, we did have all wins before.
Yeah, and so now the next one is in Philly, 1:00.
See, I think we win.
Yeah, if it was a night game,
Like I said.
hold on. You know what
before,
though? I gotta see where we're at. No, I'm gonna go loss.
I have a splitting with the Dallas Cowboys, and I have a splitting with the.
What do you have,
Eagles.
Brian?
So I say a win there.
No, I can't see them beating the Eagles this year.
Yeah.
I don't see them beating them, man. I
Because
just
I don't think they could beat them. That's why I see them beating.
Yeah, that's why. I'm being
okay,
realistic.
so-
I don't think they're going to beat the Eagles at all.
But the thing is, division games are different than any type of.
Yeah,
of
they
game.
could go
It doesn't-
either
it
way.
doesn't-
Yeah, but
matter.
the Eagles, it's always different. It seems like.
No, I know, but it doesn't matter if the Giants are the worst or best team in the division. It doesn't matter if the Eagles are the best team in the division because they're not going to be the worst team in the division.
Right, yeah,
It's
'cause they
just-
were
it's
horrible
just-
the year before and they beat us on that night game.
It's just
was
different with
terrible.
division games. So
Yeah.
I think we're going to split. So
Okay.
I think that's a win.
All right, next game.
So the next game is at home against Chicago Bears,
Oh, it's a win.
1:00.
That's a
If
win.
we don't stomp them out, I'd be very
I
depressed.
think the game's going to be a slobber knocker. It's going to be a nail biter. It's going to go in overtime, and the Giants are going to
So-
just barely win.
So they have a new coach. Chicago Bears have a new coach.
Uh-huh.
They have
Got Bears.
Mitchell Trubisky, who was rookie last year. Didn't look great. He was the first quarterback taken in the draft, but didn't look like it.
It's actually who I wanted.
Yeah, thank God we didn't get him.
No, I was
Okay.
high on him. I
Thank God
still
we
think he's
never
going to be
listened
good.
to you. But I don't like him. I think they actually have some decent defensive personnel, and they had two really good running backs. They have Jordan Howard, which was the steal of the draft. In that draft, he was a 5th-round pick, and Tyreek Cohen last year, who proved to be a good scat back. So they're not a terrible team, but with Mitchell Trubisky on the road,
Who's their first-round pick this past season? Ronald Smith? Or someone Smith. It's a linebacker from Georgia.
Yeah.
He's the only first-round pick to not be signed.
Well, he's one of the most talented
because
guys.
They're trying to put a clause in his contract that if the NFL finds him or deems any of his hits illegal with the helmet whatever, that they can take money out of his contract. And he's like, nope, not signing it.
The thing is with the Bears, I think they're good on both lines, which lines are very important. Obviously, the offensive line, the defensive line. I think they're a decent team as far as the roster overall, but Mitchell Trubisky, I don't see him being something in the NFL. I never thought he was going to be that great. So I think we win that game. If we don't win that game, we got some issues.
Okay, next game.
Next game is in Washington at 1 o'clock against the Redskins.
I think we lose.
Yeah, me too.
I think we
lost. Yeah.
I think we get swept by the Redskins.
You think we're getting swept by the Redskins?
I really do.
But we're not getting swept by the Eagles.
And I'm going to tell you the reason why I think that is, like I said before, the Giants play up to their opponents and down to their opponents. I think the Redskins are the least talented team in the NFC East, and it makes no logical sense why they would lose both of them.
Yeah.
And that's why it makes sense as far as the Giants are concerned.
Okay.
Matt is traditionally right. On the years the Giants are decent, that's generally what the Giants would do. But we've had some bad showings against the Eagles the last 4 or 5
I don't
seasons.
see the Giants winning any games against the Eagles.
Me neither. All right, so next game would be against?
So the next game is at home at 1 o'clock against Tennessee Titans.
We have a soft schedule at home. I'm kind of happy.
Me too.
You could sell these tickets.
I'll buy them.
So
wins, baby, wins.
They were a playoff team last season.
Yeah, come on.
They made them.
Barely. Yeah.
Travis Kelce gets hurt because they played the Kansas City Chiefs. Travis Kelce gets hurt. They come back from a 17-point deficit, and they ended up winning that playoff game.
The Chiefs have had some horrible moments in the playoffs the last 4 seasons.
Good for them.
Remember the Colts? Oh, my God.
It was an absolute meltdown.
I remember once
Obviously, the Chiefs are going to be a little different this year. Marcus Mariota, is he going to be the quarterback we thought or not? He was the 2nd overall pick right behind Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston's not looking too good.
Jameis.
He's not looking too good.
Dude, he's going to be more famous for his jail time than being an NFL player.
As far as off the field is concerned, Marcus Mariota and Jameis Winston can't be any more different.
Yeah, no, they really can't.
So
stand-up citizen, jailbird.
So this next game is to be determined. They don't know when it's going to take place.
Well, it's a flex. That means it's a flex game.
Yeah. So it's going to be against the Colts.
So if the Colts are good, it will be in prime time.
Wait a second. They don't even know the date.
They don't know anything.
So
it could be Thursday night. It could be Sunday night.
It could be
right.
Flex on a Thursday.
Well, that was an absolute waste. That should be a win because they're going to be.
Oh yeah.
So the flex, as far as the flex is concerned, it's going to be based on how the Colts are.
Right.
Yeah.
Of course.
If they're good, I think.
Or how the Giants are.
I think either
it's
way.
It's more so going to be based on.
I think either way, the Giants are going to be there just because Odell Beckham. He is probably the most recognized person in the NFL as far as on a global.
Yeah, it's really weird. Yeah. Like I see him everywhere.
Which that's the first time the Giants have had a player like that forever.
If you look at his Instagram as well as Twitter, he's the most followers of any NFL player I've seen.
Because he's polarizing. Polarizing characters.
He's larger than life.
It's the guy with the yellow hair. Everybody knows.
He looks like a Golden Lord from Meteor Man.
So wait, who do you think, Brian? Win or loss?
Oh, they're gonna trample all over.
Matt?
That should be a win.
I think it's going to be.
I don't think it's a trample.
Here's the thing: if you're in fantasy football, if you have any of the players that are prominent for the Giants in that game, it's going to be a field day. You're going to have some of the best stats coming out of that game.
So the big question mark is going to be Andrew Luck's been out for this last season. Is he going to come back 100% healthy? If he comes back 100% healthy, they'll be a decent team. And in 2014, when he took that terrible roster to the AFC Championship versus the Patriots, that's when deflation started. It was one of the greatest accomplishments one player's ever had, in my opinion. How he took that roster, that terrible roster.
He was like the LeBron of the NFL.
He was. And it's similar to what Aaron Rodgers did in the NFC Championship versus the Falcons.
It's similar to what Aaron Rodgers does every season.
Yeah, I mean, he's great.
That's why I said the Packers are going to be good this year.
So the question mark's going to be, how's Andrew Luck? Is he what he was in the past, or is that...
I really don't... Even if he's the greatest, they're going to still lose because the rest of that roster sucks. All right, last game.
Final game of the season.
Well, it's got to be the Cowboys.
Yeah,
We've only heard one. Yeah.
Cowboys
We're
at home. 1 o'clock.
What time?
We're home, we lose it.
Yeah, loss. Go ahead, Brian. End it on a high.
I think they're going to win.
Okay.
That's right, Cowboy fans. We're going to sweep you this year.
What do I probably have like 8-8.
Hold on. We're going to go. We're going to go with it. We'll do Brian first. He's the host. Brian has us at 10-6.
So that's a fringe playoff team. Probably
that's a wild card. Matt,
it's going to win the division.
I probably have some 9-7,
8, 9, 10-6.
10-6, baby!
Wow.
It's totally different route we have though.
Okay, so that was your record that we just did, and now let's do Chris's record for the end of the season.
Did you start it right now?
It's on.
So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9 losses. So 7-9. For that one, I did it the Brian way. I did losses because I knew it would be higher.
Wow.
So you guys have us borderline wild card sneaking into the playoffs.
Yeah.
And listen, we've won the division at 9-7, but not with the Eagles this year.
We're clearly biased with our.
So yeah, you guys are.
Yeah.
No, I don't think I'm biased.
So you guys are best case have us at wild card teams, and I have us in typical Giants fashion in absolute fucking hell. So
like 14, 15 pick.
Yeah, no, it's right in that we're just outside of getting a good pick, and we're just bad enough to miss the playoffs. So there's absolutely nothing good about our lives.
It's the worst thing that you could be is mediocre.
Yeah, we're mediocre. We're in quarterback hell. Thank you, Saquon Barkley. We're in quarterback fucking hell.
Well, it's not his fault.
Yeah, it's his fault. Wearing that damn hoodie a week before the damn draft, begging us to draft him.
He had a great combine, yeah.
Yeah. All right, so that was the season. So we have them pretty much. It's very similar. I mean, you pretty much have us having a losing record, which easily could be a thing. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I wouldn't be.
When you saw 10-6, I'm like, what? Really?
I wouldn't be surprised with 7 wins. I wouldn't be surprised with 10.
I would be surprised if the Giants did get to 10-6. To be honest with you, so I don't know how I got that. Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I kind of disagree with my outcome there.
Well, I think the power rankings first. 100% off.
Yeah,
I don't think we're that bad of a team.
We'll see in the preseason. To see how the Giants fare.
The Giants, if they're bad in preseason, that means they'll have a good regular.
So I hope they suck.
If they're 4-0 in preseason, that means probably closer to Chris's record.
So, who do you think? All right, so pick Super Bowl matchup and winner. Matt, who's in the Super Bowl?
This is a tough one.
I already have mine.
Then you go first.
Well, let's pick for the NFC first. And who do you think is going to be in the Super Bowl for the NFC? I think it's going to be the Saints. I'm going hardcore Saints right now.
You say Saints?
Saints are going to be in for the NFC side.
Okay. Matt?
Let's think of the teams now. We got the Packers are going to be back up.
I'll tell you what. Let's go with time out. Let's go division winners. Let's go division winners. Not seeding. Let's just go division winners.
Okay.
So let's start with the AFC. So let's go AFC North. Steelers.
Yeah.
Okay. AFC West. Chiefs.
Yeah. No. Maybe the Jaguars.
For some.
Oh wait, no, that's the South. Yeah.
But for some reason,
so we got the Chargers. No.
Really? I'm gonna go Chiefs.
It's a weird feeling that I have. I think the Chargers. I don't think Denver's going to be good. I don't think the Raiders are going to be great with John Gruden. It's going to be between the Chiefs and the Chargers, and for some reason, I think the Chargers are going to win the division.
Philip Rivers is probably going to pull one out of his ass.
Well, I mean, they've been the first seed overall before.
No, I think you're right. The Chiefs.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So AFC South, I think it's Jaguars.
Yeah, Jaguars.
Who do you think's competing with them? It's the Titans. That's the only other team.
I think.
You think the Colts are going to pull something?
What? Texans aren't there yet. Their defense isn't good enough. Most overrated defensive player in the league.
I think the Texans could compete with them, but I have to agree with you guys. I think the Jaguars are going to win it.
So now let's go NFC. NFC North?
Well, no, we got another team.
AFC East. That's right. Patriots. I mean, do we really? Come on.
Yeah, come on.
No, everybody. That's why I skipped it. Like, we know the Patriots.
Obviously, the Bills are going to
Yeah.
Last place, Jets. Same old Jets.
Yeah. So now let's go, because you were like, hey, Brian, no, don't
All
forget.
right, so now let's go NFC. I'll lead this discussion.
Okay.
So we'll go NFC West. Rams.
Yeah, Rams.
I think the Seahawks are going to be better than people think.
They're going to be what?
I think they're going to be better than people think. I think people have forgotten them and they're kind of written them off a little bit.
Fringe wild card team.
Yeah, me too. I agree.
But
Russell Wilson's a great player.
The Rams should easily win that
It's
division.
Rams. Brian, what do you think?
I Rams, yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
So we'll
But
go.
the Cardinals can pull one out of their butts, too.
Oh, could they? Man, no, they're not.
They're going to be a wild card for the whole NFC. I really don't know what to expect of them. It's going to depend on Sam Bradford or Josh Rosen.
Yeah, Josh Rosen will be the starter by week 3 because everyone knows Sam Bradford's going to sprain his ankle walking on the streets of Phoenix.
So he's most likely to get injured. But the thing is, Josh Rosen has a tendency to get injured too. So it could
concussion.
They could be a fringe wild card team, or they could be one of the worst teams in the league.
Yeah, that's why I think it's Rams and Seahawks. I don't even look at the Cardinals.
No, I don't. I think the Rams are going to win the division. They're the most talented team.
All right, so let's go to NFC North. I think it's the Vikings.
Yeah.
As much as the Packers are a force with Aaron Rodgers, that just as a whole team, the Vikings are better.
Yeah, the Vikings by far have a better roster.
Yeah. You're in agreement, Brian?
Yeah, I said
the only thing that makes Packers.
Yeah, it's Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
The only reason they're in the discussion is Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So NFC South, I think it's the Saints.
Yeah.
I think it's the Saints, and I think the Falcons will be a wild card team.
Yeah. NFC East.
Oh, man, that's the
Eagles.
Giants.
Yeah,
The Eagles, 100%.
Yeah. I swear if it's the Cowboys.
I got to be honest. For some reason,
No way.
I think it's going to be the Cowboys.
So maybe the reason that would be is the Eagles have a first place schedule, which tends to be harder. Cowboys are going to have a little bit easier of a schedule than the Eagles, but I still think the Eagles, they have the best roster in football.
But am I crazy thinking?
No, you're not. You're not crazy because they have a good roster.
Well, you're saying that.
I think for the first time ever, because the Eagles won, like the Cowboys, they're like the Yankees of football, right? You know, they got all those front runner idiot fans. So,
this is a very divisive podcast.
So no, but let's just be honest. They are the Yankees of football. They are football. So for the first time though, they're gonna not have that attention because
they're the most valuable team in the world. In the world. They just did a Forbes.
Did they beat the Yankees?
Yeah.
They're number 1 in the world.
No.
Over Manchester United.
Wow.
Over Real Madrid.
Damn.
Over Barcelona. They are.
Imagine if they won.
Yeah, seriously.
Imagine if they were an adequate franchise in the winning
20 years
percentage.
Yeah.
But it's not too crazy.
I think the pressure's kind of off of them now.
It's not a stretch to think the Cowboys can be a contender, but I think the Eagles just have such a great roster. It'd be difficult to see, unless injuries. Obviously, providing injuries.
The pressure's gonna come from the fans because again, they're like the Yankees, so the fans always put pressure on the Cowboys.
Yeah.
But the media, the pressure's gonna be on the Eagles.
Yeah, I mean
that's how I look.
They're the defending Super Bowl champs. They're gonna get everyone's best shot.
Yeah. So, all right.
Did we go through the whole NFC?
No, that was it.
We went through the whole league.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now let's go Super Bowl picks. Or you know what? Let's go championship game picks, then Super Bowl picks. Championship game, AFC, Matt.
It's going to be the Pats and the Steelers.
Pat Steelers?
Yeah.
Brian?
Yeah, I don't really see anybody beating those teams.
Maybe like the Chiefs.
The Jaguars I can see the Jaguars make it to the AFC Championship.
Nah, I think their window closed already. I think it's Pats Chiefs.
You know what? I'm gonna go big. I think the Jaguars are gonna make it to the Super Bowl this year.
Okay, good.
We'll
get to that. So NFC Championship.
This is where I struggle because there's so many good teams in the NFC. It's difficult. Man, I don't. For some reason, even though the Rams are talented and they have a great roster, I don't think they're going to make it. I think it's going to be the Saints and the Vikings for some reason.
I'm going Vikings Rams.
What?
What?
No, I think it's the Saints all the way. I think it's going to be Saints.
Okay, great. Who they play?
Saints who?
I don't even care about the next thing. I think that the Saints are just going to dominate this year for some reason.
Okay, great. Who they playing?
The Vikings then.
Okay, Vikings Saints.
So we have the Saints.
All right, so Super Bowl picks.
I think the Pats still come out of the AFC. Man, this is like a coin flip. I think Drew Brees makes it there, so I'm going to say the Pats versus the Saints.
Brian?
I agree.
I'm going Chiefs Rams.
Wow, man.
That would be an amazing Super Bowl. I'd watch
Dice
that.
roller.
Who wins the Super Bowl for you, Matt?
I think Drew Brees' year. I think the
Yeah.
Saints win it.
I agree.
You going Saints too?
Yeah, I do.
You both
So wait,
had
wait,
Saints
wait.
Pats, right?
Actually, no. I didn't want. Actually, I don't think the Pats are going to make it through. I think they're going to lose to the Jaguars in the AFC Championship.
So
and
you
it'll be-
have Saints Jaguars.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm sure everyone's
with
hoping
the-
for the Jags to make it.
Oh God, I
With
can't
the
wait
Saints
to see
winning
it.
the Super Bowl? That's your pick?
Yeah.
Okay. So you have Saints Pats and you have Saints
I have
winning.
the Saints winning.
And I have Chiefs Rams.
And who you have winning?
I think it's the Chiefs year.
Pat Mahomes
Pat Mahomes.
in his first year starting.
First season. It's gonna be
It's that elusive Super Bowl.
this is the beginning of the end of the Tom Brady era. And it's gonna be the demise of a franchise. We're gonna watch it happen. It's gonna begin here. You're gonna literally watch the Patriots become what every other team is. Fucking mediocre.
So wait, okay, so
An absolute roll of the dice every year. You don't know what you're gonna get.
Wait, who
you
did
will now know what it is like to feel like a fucking fan.
who did you have in the AFC Championship? Chiefs and Pats?
Yeah, Chiefs Pats.
Chiefs, Pats, okay.
Pat Mahomes, 2-minute drive, wins the game. Not throwing a touchdown. He's going to fucking scramble from the 18-yard line and just dive for the pylon touchdown with 7 seconds left. AFC Championship sealed.
That'll be a slobber knocker of a game.
So I got the Saints versus Pats. Saints winning. Drew Brees gets a second Super Bowl trophy.
No, see, Drew Brees is going to get hurt this season. He's not going to play the rest of it.
That's a
Call
bold
it now.
prediction, Cotton. It's a bold
See if it pays
prediction.
off for him.
Yeah.
All right, so I mean, I pretty much went over everything there is to go over. And
Comeback player of the year, Odell Beckham Jr.
I think it's gonna be Aaron Rodgers. I think he's gonna be MVP.
That's
worthy.
actually a good.
Aaron Rodgers
Well,
got
I
to pull
think-
stuff out of his
But
ass.
the thing is, if Aaron Rodgers wins the MVP, he's not going to win Comeback Player of the Year too.
He's gonna win everything.
He's going to sweep it. Well,
he's gonna win an Academy Award that year.
But wait, didn't he play some games at the end of the last year? He came back.
I think he played 2 games.
Yeah, so
At the end of the last
he's
season.
gonna
Oh,
win
he did?
comeback of the player of the
Oh, okay,
year.
never mind that.
Odell missed the whole season.
Wow.
It's
Meaning
still-
once he got
could-
hurt.
he could still be eligible.
I don't know if he technically can
Hey,
because he
J.J.
came
Watt,
back
how many
already.
games-
J.J. Watt, Comeback Player.
Yeah,
He should stick to acting because he sucks at football.
he's
He
actually
does
an
not suck at football.
amazing
I know, I just
actor.
don't
though.
like him.
He's an
He's a
amazing
great actor.
He's a great.
Dude,
Great.
you've seen Bad Moms?
Great, amazing.
Phenomenal
Love
soccer
it.
coach.
One of the best movies I've ever seen in my life. That's going to be our next. We're going to review that one. Let's
Bad Moms?
Let's do this.
Oh,
Bad Moms.
Not the Christmas one. The original Bad
original.
Moms. Oh, I love that movie. I wish I was a mom just because of that movie.
All right, so
This is gonna be an interesting football season.
it is going to be fun.
It's
And
going to be interesting.
Absolutely.
Not for Giants fans. but
Giants
for the
fans
rest of
now. You know what? Some sick way I kind of enjoy watching them lose right now.
you. Dude, I love when they lose because it gives me, because then I at least know we're getting a good pick, but then we fuck that up too, so it doesn't really matter. Actually, I don't even like football anymore.
He's retiring.
Please, Lord, let the Rangers rebuild very quickly so I can get back to a real sport, hockey.
I think I'm going to pick up golf
So
actually.
based on Brian and my record, there's a chance that they make the playoffs at 10-6.
Yeah, but Brian's not very confident.
It's
in
more
his
likely
pick.
than not.
When you said
The thing is, you were confident going game by game, and then you heard their outcome, and you're like, 10-6.
That's not happening. Somebody's getting. Well, it's because.
if they're 5th, 16,
Yeah.
it just depends on how it lies. I mean, they may be able to get out of the first round. Just depending on who. So I would think that the Saints and probably the Vikings, maybe even the Rams, are top 2 seeds. Somewhere in there. It's going to be between those 3 teams.
Yeah.
So it just depends on
Oh, God, imagine they played the
matchup.
Cowboys.
what.
Imagine they played the Cowboys.
That's
I
usually,
have them
Oh,
winning
the
division.
Giants?
yeah, that's usually how it
That could
goes.
definitely be it. I would feel if we were able to get in that scenario.
Oh, it's a winnable game.
Yeah, it's a winnable
Because they're
game.
the biggest choke artists of, like, the playoffs.
Yeah, it's definitely a winnable game.
No.
But I think with the Saints, the Vikings, and the Rams, they're too good.
Let's rank the quarterbacks in the NFC East before we close.
So Carson Wentz is first. in
I
my
would go
opinion.
Carson Wentz,
Carson Wentz. Do you agree with that?
Of
Brian?
course,
Who do you
yeah.
think's
All right, so
best?
everyone's
Absolutely.
Carson Wentz number 1.
Okay.
Then I go Nick Foles number 2. Listen, Super Bowl champ. Say what you want.
I think Alex Smith is a better quarterback than him.
It was a joke. So yeah, it's.
I mean, Foles is maybe debatably the best.
No. So you have Carson Wentz,
I think it's Carson Wentz. I think it's Alex Smith.
Alex Smith, then Nick Foles.
Foles.
You're talking about, no, you said the whole NFC.
Just
Right?
NFC
No, the
East.
NFC East. NFC
Okay.
East specifically.
It's Dak Prescott, then Eli Manning. Eli Manning's the worst quarterback in our division.
No, I think he's better than Dak Prescott.
So do I.
Yeah.
I think Dak's so overrated.
Hey, I agree with you on that one. He's not.
I agree. He's definitely
the best
overrated,
offensive
but
line in
Eli Manning's
football.
not even rated in my book. Like he shouldn't even play the league. So
Strongly disagree.
So the thing that gets me with Dak Prescott is we saw what he was without Ezekiel Elliott last year.
he was Eli Manning.
He was, yeah, but with a way better offensive line. So that's with a way better offensive line than the Giants have.
Yeah, but without the weapons that Eli has. Because Jason Witten's a nice player, but he's not going to stretch the field. And like Beasley,
He was over the hill.
come on.
Beasley's not that great.
and
Des Bryant.
Des Bryant's a freaking basket case
Yeah.
that we need to sign.
No, I mean that's true, but you look at Odell.
You really want to see New York City go on fire?
But-
Put Odell Beckham, Des Bryant on the same
Oh
freaking
my
field.
God.
But the thing is, with the Giants last year, without Odell Beckham, without Sterling Shepard, who did they have besides Evan Ingram? And we didn't know who he was prior to them getting
No,
injured.
I agree.
So I would say overall, their wide receiver.
Here's the thing: is Eli on the decline while Dak Prescott he can still ascend
yeah,
if he
second-year
chooses
player,
to.
absolutely.
Whereas
He
Eli
came
Manning has nothing but descending left.
Came off a great rookie season. But I don't know. To me, I have more faith in Eli than I do for Dak Prescott. As just individual player. Now, as far as the pieces
You know
are
what though?
concerned,
He did play very well in that playoff game. He was not the
Versus
reason
the
why they
Packers,
lost
yeah.
that game. Their defense just completely shit the
absolutely.
bed.
I mean, Aaron Rodgers pulled a feather out of his
I know
ass.
that, but that's on the defense.
Yeah, no. I think Dak Prescott played well enough to win a game. If
Yeah.
you score 31 points, I think it was 34-31. You score 31 points
It
in
was
the playoff.
33-30. Something like that.
It's something
like
along
that.
those
Yeah,
lines.
something like that.
If you score over 30 points in a game or 30 points in a game,
You should win.
you
playoffs, you should win.
You should win. If you would have said, they scored 30 points in this game, probably going to win the game.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers.
Especially knowing it that year because they had Ezekiel and they were running. Because you would have figured they scored a lot of points and they were running the ball pretty well.
Yeah, and I think Des Bryant actually played well in that game.
He did. I do think. I think their defense was just like Swiss cheese.
So the last thing, obviously, we already had Super Bowl picks. We see what the Giants are going to be. We already went over their schedule. 2014, when the Dallas Cowboys play the Green Bay Packers, do you guys think that was a catch? Des Bryant. On the sideline.
Oh, in the playoffs.
Yeah, takes a few steps, stretches for touchdown. I hate the Dallas Cowboys because I'm a Giants fan. I think it was a catch. And then based on the rules that they just made now, the rule change for the catch rule, it would be a catch now, and I think it was a catch always.
Yeah, like I think that was more of a catch than the Zach Ertz touchdown in the Super Bowl. To me, that was not a catch.
Yeah. I think, what was it, Jesse James? Was it Jesse James? Jesse James for Pittsburgh Steelers? Remember versus the New England
versus the Patriots,
last year?
yes. Mm-hmm.
I don't think that was a catch. I kind of agreed with him.
Yeah, I
He
didn't
caught it,
either.
he kind of dove.
You know what the thing
fell out.
is, we're
I
so
don't think he
jaded
did.
now at this point that
Yeah.
I don't even think anyone knows what a catch is.
No,
because
not even the refs.
you think you know, and it's not a catch, and then you're like, oh, that's definitely not a catch, and it's a touchdown. So it's like, I don't know anymore.
Yeah. I think that wraps it up for NFL.
Yeah, it's too many rules going on.
Close it out, Brian.
Pretty much let's do a recap. We did discuss.
Yeah, so the Giants are going to have a shitty pick.
Yeah, we talked about the power rankings. We got the Giants off-season moves, and then we talked schedule, and then pretty much the NFC East and
A little bit of NFC
a little
East.
bit
And
of
playoffs,
predictions,
Super
yeah.
Bowl.
So that was a lot going on, and it's like a little fresh take on something new.